All right, let's get rocking and rolling. Boop, and then I go boop. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hey, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the new season of Club Crochet. How cool is this? Okay. Hi, everybody. Sorry. High energy, I know. I hope you guys are having a great week. Happy summer. It's summer. I mean, it's been summer for a second, but now it's really summer. And so we are crocheting some seagulls. Can you guys see me? My thing is broken on my side, so I'm gonna fix that. There we go. Hi. So here's the dealio today. We are crocheting a seagull today, but even more important than crocheting a seagull is that we are introducing the new seasonal crochet kit, or I should say the new deluxe kit, the release of the new season and our brand new deluxe kit for Club Crochet, called Sandigurumi. I'm very excited about this season. I've been excited about it for a while. So here's the dealio today. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the new season. We're going to look at the new kit. We're going to talk about all the materials with it. We'll talk about some of the patterns that are coming out, some of the new patterns that are being refreshed, and then then we're going to talk about some events. So we got some big events coming this season, and then we'll crochet a seagull together. Now the seagull is going to be based on your suggestions. So if you have any ideas on how we should customize our seagull today, let me know in the chat. Oh, the camera did a weird camera thing. Let me fix that. Stay. Okay, there we go. All right, that's probably good. So if you have any ideas on how we should customize our seagull today, let me know in the chat. Cooper, hi Cooper. So actually, just quick shout out to both of our moderators, Cooper and Zoe, who are in the chat today helping out, making sure everything is going A-okay and hunky-dory. They are going to be keeping track of all of the suggestions today. So I'm going to be using those to choose what we're going to customize, how we're going to make this our very special customized seagull. And then after the live stream, I might, if I have enough time today, put the pattern for whatever we make today, if we customize it really thoroughly, on the website as like an alternative pattern for the season or for the seagull. Okay. I think that is all the gist about what's going on today. So let us know in the chat if you have any suggestions. Someone here says surfing seagull. I saw someone said seagull that's in charge of a fish and chips shop. I love these ideas. Great suggestions. We're going to get voting on that just before we get started crocheting, I think. Okay, well, let's talk about our brand new season and answer some questions. If you guys have any questions about the new season, let me know in the chat. We already have one from Michelle. Thank you for asking, Michelle. Michelle says, when will these kits be mailed? They are going into the mail today and over the weekend, and on Monday will be all things going correctly will be the last kit going out. So you should get it probably by Wednesday if you're in the United States, maybe by next week if you are in international place. It depends on where you are. But Michelle, you should be getting yours very soon because I know you are also in the US. Okay, well, let's talk about this new season and let's look at our brand new kit. Let's move this aside a little bit and check out our new kit. Oh, I'm really proud of this one, guys. So, as you probably know, our seasonal kits come in these beautiful seasonal kit boxes. And let's take a look at all of the materials. This season, I kind of went a little overboard. I added a lot of different materials, a lot of yarn. I just want to give us options so that we can make as much stuff as we can and we want to this season. So the first thing you're going to notice is this beautiful enamel pin at the top. If you are an annual pass holder or you pre-ordered this kit, you get a special exclusive pin in your kit. So we're going back to our beautiful rainbow pins as our final pin for our 8 seasons. And I mean, I just love this pin. I think it's one of the coolest pins I've ever made. And it's our logo and it's just cool. And someone's texting me, which they shouldn't be, but that's okay. Hold on, I gotta turn on Do Not Disturb. because whoops. All right. So this is our new, this is the pin that you get with the pre-order. By the way, if you want to, I'm gonna leave the pre-orders up until the end of the weekend, just because I didn't get the pre-orders going until really late this season. So I'm just gonna keep the pre-order price and the pins offer available for if you want to over this weekend. So it'll be on discount, just to give it a little bit extra space, because I know I put it up late and I'm really sorry about that. But yes, this is the special pin you're gonna get if you do pre-order it by the end of this weekend. And, you know, pre-order it. It's basically just ordering it by the end of this weekend because they're already going out. And let's look at all of our materials for this season. So every season we have 6 big balls of yarn and then a few little balls of yarn. So let's talk about the yarn first, and then we'll talk about our alternative materials, and then we'll talk about all this other jazz. There's a whole bunch in this season though. I'm excited about it. So let's do a color and then a base and then a color and then a base. So let's start with the color. We're gonna start with our cyan. I mean, we had to have some kind of blue in this season, right? So as you're gonna notice, we have 3 different like colors in this season, and those are mostly going to be for choosing what you want to create your pieces in what colors. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities this season to make your crochet patterns in any kind of colors you want. Think about like the Under the Sea season. So in our Under the Sea season, we made a lot of like jellyfish and whales and things like that. And you could kind of make it using any kind of color you wanted. So that is going to be we're going to have a similar vibe for some of the patterns in this season. And the 2 colors specifically that you're going to be able to really alternate is going to be the cyan and pink in this season. So these, I mean, obviously we're going to use pink for other things too, and we'll use cyan for other things as well. But it's going to be nice because you're going to be able to like kind of switch around which colors you want to use for which patterns, which I'm really excited about. The cyan the cyan, orange, and pink are all going to be in one of our new refreshed patterns, which, you know what, I'm going ahead of myself. Let's move on to the next color. How about that? So that's the cyan. Let's go to a base color now. Let's go to our sandy color, because of course we needed a sandy color, so we're going with Jute this season. Now, this color is very specific. If you did get the deluxe kit, keep in mind something. This is going to be the color that's going to be primarily used for one of our big patterns this season, which is going to be a sandcastle, which I'll show you in a second. Now, if you did get this deluxe kit and you get you get the deluxe kit with all the materials, you can use this entire ball of jute yarn to make an entire big sandcastle. You know what? I'm gonna get ahead of schedule and just show you what the sandcastle looks like, but we're gonna show it off again later. So this is the full size sandcastle. It uses every bit of this yarn. You have like 5 feet left over at most. So be careful when you're making this full sandcastle. However, the sandcastle does have options to make it smaller, which is what we're going to be doing in our live stream for this season. Is we're going to make it basically, instead of using 4 of these, we're going to make it with just 2 of these, which is part of the pattern. Like, it's nothing different about the pattern, and it looks pretty cute that way anyhow. But the only reason I'm doing that is because I want to save a little bit of our beige yarn for another pattern that's coming out later in this season. You don't need it for this other pattern, but it's kind of nice to have different color shells. Let's go with that. So it's kind of nice to have just a little bit extra yarn for that. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are, if you did get this deluxe kit, is try to be careful not to use, or like, you know, make your decision. If you want to make a full-size sandcastle, go for it. You have enough materials for it. But if you don't want to do that and you only want to use a little bit, then you can make this smaller. So that's just something I really wanted to let you know early on, because I made the full sandcastle and I was like, oh, that's awesome, we can make a full-size sandcastle. But then I was like, oh wait, but I kind of wanted to save a little bit of this yarn for later too. So that's just something to keep in mind. The next one, let's go back to another color. Oh, you know what, let's go back to the pink. So the pink is obviously, like the cyan, going to be used for alternative colors, but we're also going to be using the pink for some special parts of this pattern. So for example, think tongues, not just tongues on little creatures, but maybe tongues on the shell of a clam, stuff like that. So we're going to be using pink for some more subtle patterns, but these two colors especially are not only going to be great for alternating colors in this season, but also for making alternative patterns in the season, which we're going to talk about when we get to the patterns as well. All right, let's look at another base color, white. Of course, we need a little bit of white for that sea foam, baby. But white's also going to be used a lot in a bunch of our other patterns, like our Seagull, which we're going to be making today. We're going to be using white as our primary color for our Seagull, and you're going to need it for some other patterns as well. Then let's go to another color, our beautiful orange. We do not use this color nearly enough in our deluxe kits, so I'm really excited that we got it in this deluxe kit. You might be able to have an idea of what we're going to be using this for, but it is going to be for a mystery pattern coming out later this season, and a mystery pattern that's coming out a little earlier this season that you might be able to get a little glimpse of by the end of this live stream if you stick around a little longer. So yes, this will be used for some things, but of course, like the other ones, great alternative color to use for if you want to change colors of different stuff. And then our last color is our gray, and you might be thinking, why gray? Well, there's so many things we can make with gray yarn that you would be shocked, from seals and sea lions to even maybe a giant pet rock that was from our last season for this season. I have an idea of just doing a pet rock with the seagull that can be sitting on it, and then we'll drip like little whiteout on it to make it look like the bird pooped on it. I don't know. I've got some ideas for this, for using gray, that I think you're going to be surprised about, and I'm excited for. You can also use the gray if you want to for your castle to make it into a regular castle instead of a sand castle. So there's just another idea. Okay, so those are our main colors. Then we have some little bits of yarn. These are going to be for alternating special other patterns. So let's go just through the main colors. So we got red. Now red's going to be nice because we can use it for customizing, like adding hats. I was thinking it might be fun to make a beanie for like a first mate kind of like pirate and a first mate kind of thing. But also you can use it for your beach ball. You can use it for just other little bits and bobs if you want to add blush to your characters or something like that. Yellow is going to be somewhat similar. We can use this for just some little bits of patterns, but also you're going to need the yellow for things like your Seagull and another pattern that's coming out later that uses just a little bit of yellow. So we need a little yellow. And then I always toss in a little bit of black yarn because I like to, you actually don't need this that much in this season, to be completely honest, but it is nice to have some black yarn if you want to add mouths to your characters, or you want to use it for embroidering like eyes on, or just little features and stuff like that. So keep, this one's really good for just adding some other adjustments to your patterns, and I always like to add it just because if you don't need to use it for this kit totally, it's really nice to have just a little bit of black yarn. You never need a lot, but just a little bit is nice for patterns in general. Okay, so those are all the yarns in this new season. Let's look at the special materials, because there are quite a lot of special materials in this season, and I actually packed the special materials all myself this season because I kind of ran out of time, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do it myself. Well, first thing is 2 big bags of our special stuffing. This is way more stuffing than you really need for this season, like by a pretty long shot, but I always, again, I add extra stuffing because it's always nice to have extra stuffing in your back catalog as well. So I'm just going to keep that in the box. And then let's look at the special materials. So I packed all these special materials in a special little envelope to keep them all together this season, and we have quite a lot of different materials this season that are like kind of bonus. So let's start with the basics. Pipe cleaners. I always pretty much add pipe cleaners in our seasonal kits. They can be used for so many different things, and we probably will be doing a tutorial this season about how to use pipe cleaners for a bunch of different things for your Amigurumi. This is going to be used for one mystery pattern that I'm not talking about today, so you might want to save it if you don't have extra pipe cleaners at home, but you can also use other pipe cleaners. I'm usually, if you're a crocheter, you usually have pipe cleaners anyhow. So I just put them in there just in case. And it's very strong wire pipe cleaners too. I always like to use really strong wire pipe cleaners. That's really important to me. Okay. Next one is keychains. I always add keychains into our seasonal kits. And this season we added 2 keychains. Now, of course, you don't have to use your keychains if you don't want to. But it's always nice to have keychains for your amigurumi, especially because I specialize in these little mini gurumis, so it makes keychains really easy. So yes, you get 2 keychains in your seasonal kit. Next up, oh, let's save that one for last because I really like that one. Next up are the eyes. So you actually get 3 different size eyes in this season. We get our 6mm eyes, which I usually add in every season. This is just my favorite size eye to use because we usually make very small crochet. So you get 10 pairs of eyes, a 6mm. You also get 10 pairs, I believe, sorry, not 10 pairs, 10 sets, 10 eyes of 8mm. So I added 8mm, 6mm, so you can make your eyes whatever size you want. We're going to be using these in today's video, actually, and it's going to be depending on what the chat decides for what size eye we want to use for our seagull. And then I also added some 10mm eyes in this season too, because we want some bigger eyes for a really cute seal that we're going to be crocheting later. So we wanted some larger eyes for that. Okay, and then the last special material, oh no, sorry, second to last special material. There's 2 more special materials. Like I said, I put a lot into this season for special materials. This one's small, and you might be like, what? You put a stick into my seasonal kit? Yeah, I did, because we're going to be using this for a few things. You can either use this for one mystery pattern that's coming out later. If you want to get a preview of what that is, go check out the seasonal kit listing on the website, and you'll get a little glimpse of that in the back. But that is what the stick is actually for, but we can also use this stick to make a fishing pole, and to use it to give some structure to some longer pieces of our crochet pattern. So there's going to be actually a lot of things that we actually can use this for, but there's one pattern specifically that this is designed for. So hold on to it if you want to make that pattern, or use it for a fishing pole if you don't really care. And then the last special material is magnets. I added magnets this season. We're actually going to be using them today, but there's a few patterns we can use these magnets for. These are extremely strong neodymium magnets. They're very, very strong magnets. We added 3 of them in this kit. I actually use all 3 of them together for our seagull pattern, which you're going to see. I like to put it in the bottom of our seagull to make them magnetic so they can perch on anything metal. Sorry, they are really magnetic. So I like to so that way you can stick this onto anything that's metal. Here's a little pair of scissors, and you can see, oh, he doesn't want to stick that well right now. There, oh, well, he can definitely stick on the top. I said he can definitely stick on the top. Thank you. So that's what the magnets are for. But we're also going to be using them. We can use them for to put into our beach ball so that they can sit on the top, on the nose of a seal, for example. So we got some fun things that we're going to use magnets for. I'm excited to finally have these magnets in there. Be careful when you open your kit, just because these magnets can have a tendency to stick to certain parts of the other materials too. So they might be like stuck in there just because of the nature of magnets. So just keep an eye out for that. Okay, so those are all the materials for this season. Let's now talk about all the patterns for this season. Actually, before we get to the patterns, let's look at some of your guys' suggestions for the seagull and see if we got enough to get a vote going on in the chat. Oh, we got some good ideas. Okay. Oh man, I love that. A clown seagull. How the heck would I make a clown? Okay, yes, I could try doing that. All right. Carrying a dingle hopper, aka fork. That's funny. On a cracker, a surfing seagull. Yeah, we talked about that one. A cowboy seagull, liking it. All right, give me just a few more. Yeah, we're gonna go through these different patterns, and then we're going to choose. I'm gonna choose my 4 favorite designs or ideas here, and we're gonna vote on them. Oh my gosh, someone just suggested ballerina. I love that. Great idea. That one's probably gonna go into it. Sarah, good suggestion there. Okay, now let's talk about all the patterns for the season. Now we're obviously not gonna talk about all the patterns from the season, because every season I do some patterns that are being refreshed and then some patterns that are brand new for the season. So let me explain what that kind of means. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Look, we got this little border of yarn. Here, I'll even put some down here. Look at that. It's gorgeous even. Yeah, we don't need these extra materials in this green though. Okay, so every season I do, we look at some of the past patterns that work into our theme, and then I customize some of them to work, or not customize, we refresh some of these patterns and we customize some of them so that they have a little bit more of a facelift. The first pattern from this season that is already on the library, ready to rock and roll, is our Seagull. And it is brand spanking refreshed today with a beautiful PDF that I spent all night working on. I really hope you like it. It's got the check marks to keep track of your progress. It's got the video tutorial, extra pictures that have been added in, and yeah, some new new pictures and stuff like that. So the new Seagull is, or the Seagull has been refreshed as of today. Every week that there's not going to be a new design, there's going to be a new refreshed pattern. So you're going to see throughout this season some refreshing patterns. And we're starting with our Seagull. And then today what we're going to do is we're going to customize it based on the chat's suggestions. And if I can, I'm going to put the pattern for whatever we customize it. So for example, if we do make a ballerina or a pirate or whatever, we're going to have some additional patterns for it. And I'm going to add that to the website as kind of a different alternative pattern that you could also make with your Seagull, is my idea. I really hope I have enough time today. It's been quite a day, and we'll talk, or quite a week. I'll talk about my week in a second, but life is moving fast for me. But I'm really excited about our Seagull refreshed as of today. It's also free. So if you want to check out the Seagull, it's free today. I'm going to probably keep it free this weekend, but it's definitely free today. You can find it at clubcrochet.com/Seagull. There's a link in the top of the chat if you want to check it out. Skateboarder Seagull. Love that idea. Someone just suggested that in the chat. All right, next pattern that's getting a refreshment is going to be our sandcastle. Now, this pattern's actually not designed by me originally. It's actually one of our first collaboration patterns that we made when we started Club Crochet 7 years ago, something like that, by a artist that goes by Ravencraft Designs. But unfortunately, Ravencraft Designs doesn't really design amigurumi anymore, which is really unfortunate because they are an incredible amigurumi designer, but they've moved on to other kinds of arts and crafts. But this pattern was, I just am obsessed with it. I think it's one of the coolest patterns. And so I thought, you know, duh, we got to make it for this season. And I'm really excited to refresh this pattern up a little bit. We're going to be cleaning it up a little bit. Expect it to be refreshed in a few weeks. But like I said, you can make this in your beige to make it a sand castle, or we can make it in our gray to make it a regular castle with some other adjustments and stuff like that. Dr. Seagull. Love that. Jason Seagull. No. All right, and the next refreshed pattern coming this season is our beach ball. This beach ball is one of the really cool patterns from the website because it utilizes my color chart system that I designed specifically for Club Crochet, and this was my introduction to the color charts. Now, I haven't utilized the color charts nearly enough in the past few years, so I'm excited to get back into it. If you've seen some of our color chart patterns in the past, like our planet Earth, for example, which, you know what, if it was right at my feet, I'd grab it. Oh, actually, I do see it. Yeah, wow, it is right at my feet. So this is another example of one of our color chart patterns, where you use the color chart pattern to make an actual replica of the planet Earth. Now, this pattern isn't in this season, but it gives you an idea of how the color chart works. This season, though, we're making a beach ball, which is a great introduction because it not only teaches you how to do color changes really well, but also how to use that color chart so that you can use it for other patterns. And I expect to be using that that color chart system more often in the future. I'm excited about this beach ball because you can customize it a lot. I think what we're gonna do in our season, I don't know, we'll see, but I kind of want to make it into a hacky sack, and I think it would be a really fun thing to do in our live streams. I made a few hacky sacks in the past, so I think that'd be kind of fun. Another thing we could do is, like I said earlier, we can put our little magnets in that and use it and put it on top of another creature like this so that they're magnetically attached. So we might play around with something like that too. But yeah, beach ball is going to be refreshed very soon. Okay, so the next pattern is coming next week because I haven't filmed the tutorial yet. It's gonna be recorded this tomorrow, and my goal is to try to get it out by Monday. but Friday at the latest, is our beginner pattern for this season, which, where did I even put it? Oh, right here. So every season I come out with a pattern that is completely beginner friendly, that you don't need to know how to crochet at all to get started with, so that if you are a complete beginner and you pick up this kit, you can get going. I really like this one. It's so simple, but it's so cute. It's a little seal, and it's just a little ball seal. He's so cute, really easy to make. It's based off of our whale pattern, and I just like, look at how adorable they are. And they go so well with our beach ball, right? So expect this pattern coming next week. It's designed for complete beginners, so I'm going to be taking my sweet time in the tutorial. And this won't be the only beach mammal that we're going to be making this season. And I might be able to share a preview of another one later on in the season. We'll see though. But yes, we're going to be making seals, but we're also going to be making other kinds of seal adjacent characters in this season as well. And I really like this one though. So expect it. I'm going to record it tomorrow. So yeah, keep a lookout. This one's coming very soon. Okay, now there's some mystery patterns coming up this season that I'm not really ready to talk about yet because I don't really want to share them. I think it's fun to have a little bit of mystery in our seasons. So keep a lookout. We've got minimum 3 designs designed specifically for this kit that are coming out this season, and then 3 additional patterns that are coming out this season that I like to call alternative patterns, that are based on the theme, but you don't have to make them, basically. Like, they're not for the, like, you might not have enough materials. It's basically my excuse to work with other designers, collaborators, to make designs with this season, as well as not worry about how much yarn we have to use, so I can make really big items or small items, and you could choose how you want to use the materials in this season on which patterns you want to use. But keep a lookout for some mystery designs. They're going to be coming out all season long. This season's going to go all the way into the beginning of October. So we've got 3 months of beach critters to be making this season, and we're going to make a lot of different beach critters. So keep a lookout. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before we move on to the events for the season and vote on what we're going to make for our Seagull is some alternative patterns that are already available on the website. So like I said, we've got some patterns on the website that you can make with this kit. You have all the materials for them. You just might have to pick and choose, and they're not directly related to the beach, but they almost are. Really quick though, before I do that, I need to say hi to Jimbo. Hi, Jimbo. Yes, and he wants to say hi to you. Say hi, buddy. Yeah, I know. Hi, buddy. You just want to be friends? Okay, you're not going to scratch my feet for sure? I know you definitely are, actually, though. I might have to kick you out. Wow, good purr. Okay. Sorry. So, alternative patterns for the season. So I just want to show off a few different alternative patterns to give you an idea. We have a lot, this season especially, a lot of alternative patterns that work really, really well with the season. So for example, we've got our little mini gurumis. This one's a duh to me, like duh, right? Making little tiny octopi. There's squids, there's jellyfish, there's seahorses, whales, a bunch of little miniature patterns that are 100 stitches or less that are already available on the website, and a great alternative pattern for the season. So if you got this deluxe kit and your feet are itching or your fingers are itching and you really want to crochet, check out some of the alternative patterns as you wait for our new designs to be coming out throughout the season. So this one's a great option, and there's a lot of other mini ones, so check those ones out. Here's a great example of our jellyfish. Here's our cute jellyfish. Now I know we don't have any purple in this season, but I wanted to show you the pirate hat, which is another alternative pattern for this season, so that you can add a pirate hat to anything. And I just really like the jellyfish in general. I think it's really cool. You'd have to make it, of course, with cyan or pink or gray or one of the other colors, but I just think it's a really cute alternative pattern that you could use. And the last one is, not the last one. There's 35, 36. I was going through them yesterday, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of alternative patterns this season. It's kind of crazy. But one other one is our starfish that is from Druby Zoo, a friend of the channel, and one of our early collaborations is this cute little starfish. Great alternative pattern for this season. Obviously, it works in the theme very, very well. But it's not, I'm gonna say, not directly themed for this season. It works very well, you know, with tide pools and stuff. But this was under the sea season, so I'm not gonna count it for this season. But you definitely can make it, and if you have a membership, you're gonna be able to have the pattern as well. Okay, so those are alternative patterns. Now let's talk to the chat. Chat, what is your suggestions for the Seagull? Let's go ahead and get a vote going right now for, oh my gosh, there's so many suggestions. Wow, okay, hold on. Oh my gosh. I honestly wasn't expecting to come back to this list and have it be 3 times as long. Let me choose 4 of these. Oh, that's gonna be hard. Oh boy, there's such good ideas. Okay, well, I mean, we gotta have some in the season's vibe. Oh, but I mean, a ballerina. I mean, that's such a fun idea. Oh my gosh, there's such good ideas. Oh, okay, wait. I feel like someone suggested angel, and while I do love that idea, I think a seagull is probably the furthest from an angel in the bird world. Maybe crows are the furthest from angels, I don't know. But seagulls do not give me the vibe of an angel. Someone had said a... Oh yeah, there it is. Yes. I don't know how I'm gonna do that one, but I like that idea. And then, sorry, one more. Ooh, Dr. Seagull? Ooh, Dr. Seagull might be fun. I don't know how the heck I would do a mermaid. I think Doctor's gonna be the last one. Ooh, no. Sorry, I love the Dr. Seagull idea. We're gonna save that for later because someone else had a suggestion that I think works even better for the theme. Okay, what kind of seagull are we making? All right, so this is obviously gonna be very customized based on one of these suggestions. And I don't know which one I'm gonna do, and honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna do it just yet. But we're gonna figure it out together. So while I'm going through this last section before we get crocheting, give us a vote in the chat. Do you want us to make a surfer seagull, a ballerina seagull, a skateboarding seagull, or a scuba diving seagull? Those are the suggestions now in the chat. All you need to do is vote on the poll, and we're gonna get hooking in just a moment. But before I do that, let's go through the last section for today of all these things that I want to talk about, which is the events. We have a lot of events going on this season, you know, that are obviously based on the beach. So I'm gonna be honest, I kind of want to do a live stream from the beach. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that is a little bit one of my goals. I thought about it last night and I was like, that would be really cool if I can make that happen. But we're definitely gonna be doing a lot of live streams. We're gonna be doing a live stream pretty much every single Friday, except for 2 Fridays, which are because I'm gonna be out of town, unless I can maybe live stream from Japan. That would be really cool. But so I won't be live next week because we're having a new pattern come out and I'm going to be out of town. But after that, it's going to be live streams. Lots of these crochet along live streams. So if you want to check out the full list of live streams and the order of when they're coming out, it's also a good way to see some like other patterns, get a little hint of some other designs. Check out the seasons page at clubcrochet.com/Sandy. You can find it right there. That's where you can also find all the crochet patterns for it. But you can find where all the live streams are going to be. Some of them are not scheduled yet, or some of them just say they're mystery crochet alongs, so I don't want to tell you what we're making yet. But yeah, check it out right up here, clubcrochet.com/Sandy. On top of those live stream crochet alongs, we're also going to be doing, if I can in August, but it might end up starting in September, is our first Camp Crochet, which is going to be a new big event where people can join. You're going to need a membership to join these Camp Crochets, but it's going to be a live crochet along, design along, they're going to be this big event where you can join in, learn a brand new technique. So for example, it would be like here, this one's not going to be the camp crochet for this season, but for example, here are 5 different ways to add fur to your amigurumi. And then I'll teach you all these different techniques that I've never taught before on how to crochet fur. I can answer questions in the chat. You can join with your camera actually, so we can. It's like a big Zoom with everybody, and then after that, we're gonna crochet a pattern from the library based on the suggestion or based on what we're learning, and then we're going to be designing that together live with a new kind of design. So think like our Bigfoot Bobby that we turned into our Ranger Rob last season. Good example of just like we're gonna customize a new pattern, but also learn a new technique together. And it's gonna be exclusive for people that are members on the website. So if you are interested in that, please consider becoming a Club Crochet member at clubcrochet.com and supporting in a bunch of other ways too. You can purchase merch and kits and patterns and all these other things on the website. So please consider supporting. Okay, so that is everything I wanted to go over for our new Sandigurumi season. Pretty cool. If you have any questions, please let me know now in the chat. And I'm going to be... Oh, wow. I voted on what everybody else is voting on. Well, it's a very close vote. Very, very close. We only have 37 votes so far in the chat, so go ahead and vote now. We're going to get crocheting in just a second. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. There's no hippo. Interesting idea, though. Hippo would be interesting. I actually had a really fun idea last night. It's funny when I start these seasonal patterns, these seasonal kits, I always kind of like go, like let's keep some open like mystery patterns that I don't even know what I'm designing yet, so I can let my imagination run with it throughout the season. And once I do that, I'm always like, uh-oh, that might be a bad idea. That might be a bad idea. But then I was like, I had like 5 ideas last night for new patterns, and I was like, oh, and I could do that. Oh, and I could do that. So I'm really glad I did that because I'm really excited with some ideas. Yeah, you know me. I come up with I'm full of ideas. With too many ideas. Louis, chill out. Too many ideas. I agree. Uh-oh. See, this camera thinks it's smart. It's like, you want me over there? Probably. No, I do not, Mr. Camera. We want you right there. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll get that up there. Let me see. Over there. Yip, 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 yip. Sound like those Muppet critters. Yip, 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 yip. And we'll move these to the side. And let's see, what did y'all decide on? We're gonna probably have to draw it before we get crocheting. But let's see, what did you decide on for our vote? Yes, okay, cool. It did stay where I voted. So I voted on this as well. Scuba diving Seagull. You little freaks are great. I love it. I love the ideas. I love the suggestions. Let's draw this out a little bit before we get crocheting, just because I need to have this locked in, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to start crocheting and be like, what the heck does a scuba diving seagull look like? So let's start. We're going to draw it out. We're also going to look at we're going to look at a scuba diver, just so I don't miss any of the little bits. I like the idea of a scuba diving seagull, though. I wasn't expecting that, honestly. I thought Ballerina was going to take it, but I voted for scuba diving, too. Okay, so obviously we need a seagull, so I'm going to just start by just drawing, like, the base of a seagull, which is going to be something like this, you know? And we'll do fun little eyes, too. But we need a scuba gear, so we're going to need, like, a scuba diving, like, mask. Which, how are we going to do a mask? Maybe we're going to do the mask with the eyes on the mask. That could work. So that we can take it off, but it still has his eyes on it. And then we can strap it around. We need to make space for the beak, though. So we're going to need to make a mask. This actually could probably be made afterwards, is the mask. As long as we keep space for the beak. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We're also gonna need, they're gonna need flippers, so we're gonna need to change the feet and probably make a whole body like a wetsuit. So the burb underneath, instead of making the burb white underneath, I think what we're going to do is we're going to make the burb gray underneath, like all gray, so it looks more like a wetsuit. Maybe gray with maybe cyan or something for the fins, like they've got like color to the fins, and same with the tail. So these will be cyan, and then we'll do big flippers. You know, we'll make the flippers in a different color as well, and it'll be a lot longer. And then we'll also do a little we need one of these thingies. What are these things called, guys? Chat, help me out here. One of these thingies that you breathe out of. You know? That'll be strapped to the other bit there. We might be able to actually do that, and maybe we can use one of our pipe cleaners for this. And we can make it color coordinate with the rest of the body. That could be good. And we probably want to do a big tank too. So if we have enough time, we'll do a big water tank in the back. Or not water, but air tank in the back, like that. Let's see. What else? Am I missing any other ideas here for a scuba diver? Maybe a net? Or maybe like a tool? Maybe like a... Oh, you know what? A belt probably would be good too. So maybe when we're doing the body here, I'll make it all gray, except for I'll do like back loop only in yellow down here, and then we'll like add little bit like things in the... I think that would be good. We might even be able to do like straps or something to make it look more seagull-y, or make more look more wetsuit-y. What do you guys think? I think that's actually probably pretty good start, right? I think I like where we're heading with that. What do you guys think? Chat, let me know. All right. What if he has the snorkel? Well, if he has the snorkel, he won't need the tank. Well, I mean, seagulls have both. Or seagulls. Scuba divers kind of have both, don't they? Like, sometimes they have, like, a... Wow, this is so weird. I get this, like, the worst little ads here. A regulator, yeah. Okay, so this would need, like, a regulator is attached to it like that. Something like that. I don't know. A snorkel... That's what it is. It's a snorkel. I feel like a snorkel feels... more... Yeah, no snorkel is what you're saying. Okay, some people are saying no snorkel. You know, we can worry about the snorkel last. Okay, I think this is what we're going to do then. We're going to do the head completely separate. And the head's going to be pretty much the exact same as everything else. So we'll do the head, and then we'll do the scuba gear, like the mask. And then we'll do the body after that. There's going to be a lot of customizations here, too. The snorkel can be attached to the mask. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, too, Patricia. All right, let's get hooking. All right, we're going to need... Let's grab our yarns today. We're definitely going to need white. We're going to want our cyan for colors. We're going to want our gray for the body. We're also going to want maybe some orange, just for the... Maybe for the feet, the flippers. Oh, we're definitely going to need yellow, actually. Maybe the yellow will work for the flippers. And then we might want a little bit of our pink, but we can just keep that in the background for right now. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. Let me move. The camera keeps budging on us. There we go. All right, so we'll put these ones up here in the back, and let's get hooking. We're going to start by just making the head of our seagull. Oh, I'm sorry. This was supposed to do this. Oh, you know how yarn sounds. Let's get our hook. Let's get our scissors, and let's get a darning needle. What color darning needle, guys? Let's go with blue. That makes sense. It works with the theme. And then we'll choose eyes. You know what? Actually, let's get eye choices out. My thought is maybe we should do 8mm eyes for the... What size eye for the seagull themselves is basically what I'm looking for. And I think we'll do either 6 or 8mm eyes. So it's basically itty bitty eyes, big eyes is the what I'm looking for there. My thought is if we do big eyes, on the Seagull, then we can do little eyes for the mask, and that might be kind of funny. But I'm open to other ideas too. Oh, I just realized actually before I do the head, I do want to make the beak first. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this first. Oh, there we go. That's the sound of that one because it's a little one, so it doesn't make the full angel sounds, even though it's very angelic. All right, so we're gonna start by making the large beak, and then we'll move on to the other bits after that. Let me pull up the pattern here. There it is. Okay. Nice. All right, well, let me tell you guys about how my week has been. The first thing, probably the most exciting thing about this week. No, just kidding. There's been a lot of excitement about this week. But one thing that I did this week is I learned how to make a cricket sound by whistling. Here we go. I'm going to do my best. I just got it right yesterday, so it might be raw. Here we go. Hold on, I need water. I can do it though, I swear. The cats really hate it. Jimbo's like, what are you doing? I told you to never do that again. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. Did I wake you up from your slumber because I did a cricket whistle and you're like, where's the cricket? I'm like stupidly proud of that though. The trick is you got to do like you're purring, like that sound with your tongue in the back of your throat and do a whistle at the same time. It's really hard to do. Okay, Jimbo is currently nibbling on my leg, which is great. We all love that. Now he's eating our yarn. Okay, that's strike number 2. You know his deal. He gets 3 strikes and he's out, especially if he bites me. I can't have no cat biting me. All right, almost done with the big beak already, which is nice. I always like finishing up the sections like this first because it already starts to give you a visual of what you're making, which is always pretty nice. Okay. Like that. And do I need to chain one? Yes. Okay. Like I said, this crochet pattern is actually free right now on the website. You can find it at clubcrochet.com/Sandy or /Seagull. But there is our beak, and you can see if when you bend it in like that, this will just get sewn onto the face. And we're just gonna have to make sure that the mask that we make goes over that, you know, like it doesn't get covered up too much when we make that. All right, so we'll place this right here off to the side, and let's crochet. I think we can get going on the head now. If not we can do the mask part afterwards because we're gonna need to make it like based on the head. So let's go ahead and we could do like a full color change thing for the head. And nah, it's fine. We don't need to do that. That's so extra. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 6. We are crocheting. Okay, so some other big news for the week. One thing is that we're moving. We're moving. Not very far. Just a little bit closer to LA. We're gonna be living in Northridge soon, and I'm very excited. We've been wanting to move for a long time, but that means that this is our second to last live stream in this spot. Now, if everything goes according to plan, you won't even know the difference. You'll be like, oh, you moved? How would I have known? But just in case it does change, this whole thing needs to be moved to somewhere else. So I'm really excited but nervous for this whole move. Jules and I don't move a lot. So yeah, the good thing is we're at least close now, so we don't need to worry about like last time we moved from San Francisco down to Southern California, and that was like a move, especially with cats. I'm sure if you have cats, you also know what I mean. So I'm not excited about the moving part itself, but I am excited that the move is going to be not so far away that I got to be like, you know, like driving 7 hours with a cat screaming in my ear all day. Thank you, Zoe. Good looking out in the chat there, Zoe. Okay, let's keep rocking and rolling. But what have you guys been up to this week? Anybody crocheting anything fun? Anybody have any ideas that they're hoping they see this season? Like any critters or creatures that you really hope to see me make a design for? That'd be pretty cool. What are we crocheting? Toffee, welcome to the chat. We are crocheting a seagull that is also a scuba diving seagull. We're crocheting a scuba diving seagull. Yeah. But how has my week been? Thanks for asking, No Morelia. I would say it has been a pretty good week. It's been a pretty hectic. You know, I'm getting prepared. Jules and I are going on a vacation that we've been planning for years. It's not a long vacation, but we're going to this. We're going to Canada in like next week, which I'm pretty excited about. It's to this like place that Jules' family has owned for like a super duper long time, so I'm really excited. It's really fun, but it's extremely difficult to get to. It's like you have to take a boat, or you have to take a plane to a plane to a plane to get a rental car to drive there. So you're like in the boonies. It feels crazy, but it's really cool. It's a vacation like I've never done before. And this time we're bringing my parents, so it'll be a lot of fun. I'm worried about the kitty cats though. I mean, I think everybody understands that, you know, leaving your kitties for a while or your pets and having someone else check after them is kind of spooky. So I'm excited, but I'm nervous because we're launching this new season. We've also been working on a brand new we're calling it Club Crochet 3.0, so we're changing the whole website in a few weeks as well. So that's been exhausting, and just like I feel like I'm strapping myself into a rocket ship right now, and it's just gonna be like, all right, let's go. So I'm excited. I've just I've got that nervous energy, but I'm very excited. So that's how my week has been. A very nervous energy, but excited energy. Michelle, love that suggestion. Michelle says, can we do a sand dollar? I was absolutely thinking the same thing. I think a sand dollar would be really fun. Honestly, for many different reasons. We can do a bunch of different kinds of, we can do a sand dollar coaster. I think what might be kind of fun. Or we could do like a full-on sand dollar. I was thinking a coaster might be kind of fun because, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't do bobble stitches for the eyes. I don't know. What do you guys think here? Okay, question for the chat. And I need suggestions fast. So normally I do bobble stitch eyes like this, right? So they're like outward. They're like you can see they're three-dimensional. We could totally do that. But my worry is if we do bobble stitch eyes like that, will our mask fit right? You know what? Maybe the bobbles will be good because they'll hold the mask, actually. How the heck am I going to do a mask, though? Is it going to have to be like a long chain and then like crochets here and then slip stitches and then crochets around? So it'll have to be tall. Ooh, the mask is going to be weird. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. We're going to have to figure that out together. Okay, Cat's rule says bobble stitch eyes. And I'm inclined to agree. Okay, let's do it. Let's listen to Cat. Let's go with it. How many pets do I have? We have 2 kitty cats, Jimbo and Phoebe. Jimbo is the one you saw a little earlier. Very attention hungry. He loves people. He loves being pet. He loves you looking at him. And then the other kitty cat is Phoebe, and Phoebe is this little cute little sweetie. She's just a cat. She's very cat-like. We call her a standard issue kitty cat because she looks like just, when you think cat, that's what she looks like. And she's so sweet but very shy, but loves me. And we call her Beefy also. It went from Phoebe to PB to BP to Beefy, and now we just call her Beef. She's my little beef. I smell like beef. Anybody know that reference? Your dog's name is Phoebe. Very cute. Love that. You should start calling your dog Beefy. You have 3 dogs and 6 fish? Dude, that's wild. That's a lot of fish. Do you know all the names of your fish? I wonder. I wonder. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we got our eyes made. We got our little beak. You can see that little beak going on right there. I think that looks pretty good, honestly. Right? Yeah, I think that looks great. Let's keep going. Yeah. So we're cruising. We got a baseline here. You can see how the start of this design was based on my pigeon burb. And if you don't know about the burbs are our secret agents disguised as other kinds of birds. And we have a whole bunch of designs now. It feels like the past few seasons we've done a burb for almost every no, we didn't do one in the space season. But we did do one in woods our last season, and now we got another one in this season, so I'm stoked. I love the burbs. I love the burbs. You love avocados, says No Morelia. It's funny. Okay. Now I just have a lot of rounds of single crochets here. So we're just going to go ahead and fly through this. I think that's no big deal. Ain't no thing but a seagull wing, baby. So I used to live on the beach. In San Francisco, I lived there for 11 years. And there was nothing between me and the ocean. It was our house, or our apartment rather, and then the street, and then the ocean. And so when I first moved there, I actually really didn't like the beach. I was like, why do people like the beach so much? And I didn't get it. But then my friend and roommate, Sarah, who I was just texting today. Hi, Sarah, if you're out there. She texted me to say that she really likes the sequel. And she was like, if you end up liking the beach one day and you live across the street from the beach and you never went to the beach, you're gonna freaking hate yourself. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna give the beach another shot. So then I started going to the beach more. And then I started really liking the beach a lot. And then, like, me and my roommate would go every single day to the beach. Our record was 116 days straight. Beach every day. We didn't, like, spend all day at the beach, but we at least visited the beach once a day, every day. And ever since then, I've loved the beach. But I haven't actually been to the beach in a few months at least, so I need to go back. Who is this pattern by, says Sarah? Myself, me, myself, and I. That would be Louis Loop's original. So yes, this design is designed by myself. 90% of the patterns on Club Crochet are actually designed by myself. So yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You were asking someone else something. I'm sorry. You're the avocado bear. Got it. The avocado bed was designed by Ocean. I see what you're saying now. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Oh my gosh, Blair's got 3 cats named Skippy, John Jones, and Dippin' Dots. Oh wait, Skippy, John Jones. Wait, your 3 cats' names are Skippy, John Jones, Dippin' Dots, and Baggy. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love that. Skippy, John Jones. I like the name Dippin' Dots a lot. That's a really cute name for a cat. And I like Baggy. But Dippin' Dots, there's something about the name Dippin' Dots for a cat. That's cute. I like it. But yeah, so I used to spend a lot of time at the beach. Like pretty much every day for years I would go to the beach. And I built benches on the beach that ended up becoming like a big thing in San Francisco. And yeah, I liked getting sand in my stitches. Sand in your stitches, sand in your britches. Okay, next up we are just about done with this consistent round of single crochets. I think we're going to add our eyes in here next. And you guys decided on what for the size of the eyes on the inside, or sorry, on our head. So we're going to actually have 3 pairs of eyes in this crochet, which is not normal. Normally I do 1 pair of eyes, but in this pattern we got a pair of eyes on this head here. We're going to have a pair of eyes on the inside head, and we're going to have a pair of eyes on the mask as well. So we have quite a lot of eyes to make. Zoe is the only Aussie that doesn't like the beach. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's illegal, Zoe. Pretty sure. Oh my gosh, the vote is 50. Oh my gosh, it's nearly tied. Wow. It is literally like basically tied. I'm just gonna see. We need one. If someone could vote one more time, just to, okay, great. That covered it. Great. Thank you, whoever just voted. So we're doing 6mm eyes. Great. That works actually really well. So we want to do our smaller eyes which means that we're going to do pretty much smaller eyes for the entire piece, which is fine. We just might use a lot of our eyes from our kit, but I've got a lot of eyes, so it's not a big deal. Twiz, I crochet too fast. You only have 2 wings so far. Well, I haven't made the wings yet. I skipped the wings. So you actually, I think, are probably close to tied with me. And I have a strong feeling that you're going to finish your Seagull before I finish mine, because of all the customizations we're doing. But we'll see, Twiz. Keep us in the loop. Let us know how you're doing throughout this live stream. I'm very curious. Yes, please like this video as well. Again, if this video gets to 100 likes in today's live stream, we are going to unlock a giveaway for our next stream next week. Okay, so for the eyes, now normally I kind of like to make the eyes, it depends on how I'm making this. You basically can do your eyes outwards so that they're facing like out, which makes them look kind of like this, kind of goofy looking. Or we could have them facing inwards, which also looks pretty goofy looking, but it's a little bit cuter. I'm kind of pro looking inwards for this one because he's going to have the mask on it. So I want the mask to make sure that it can cover all of the eyes. And it's going to be a lot easier to cover those eyes if they're looking inwards, I think. So we're going to make the eyes facing inwards today. It just makes more sense for the long term. So this is how I do it, by the way. I stick a crochet hook in that bobble stitch like that to create a little bit of gap. See where that yellow is right there? And then we just pop an eye in there, just like that. Pretty good. I like it. And then we'll do the same to this side. Crochet hook to give a space. And I barely really even needed to do that. It was already pretty open. And now we have 2 eyes on there, looking pretty good, if you ask me. All right, let's go ahead and we'll lock them in. And then sew on our large beak. There's 1. And 2. Boop, 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 boop. All right, I like that. Good choices, guys. Now let's get our beak on here, just sewn on like that. you know? And what we do with the beak here is we kind of have 2 stitches. So first I like to thread on our center stitch, and I always move it slightly, so I'm going to put it right here instead. And then we're going to have this go directly over the bottom beak, this. And we're just going to pull it in. Here, let's this. And then we're going to take this end and thread that on, and then we're just going to sew it on over the bottom beak, and it creates this cute little, it's a cute little beak. So we're just going to go one side to the other side. We're going to try to keep the beak relatively low on the face, and the only reason I'm doing that is because it's going to make it, we want to create as much space as we can for adding our scuba gear, you know? This is also how I make beaks for eagles, by the way. So if you are, and for eagles and for parrots also. So like I've made a few cockatiels and just other random parrot critters, and the beaks are made in the same way. So if you're interested in learning more about the burbs and maybe making a few new burbs, check out the full library of burb patterns at clubcrochet.com/burb. Or just go to the website Club Crochet and you can find them real easy. You can search for them or whatever you want to do. Loving the music? Me too. Thanks, Cat's Rule. I agree. I'm a fan of beach themed music that is Nintendo themed. That's the kind of best music. I think we're listening to what is that game? Super Mario Sunshine right now. There's our beak, by the way. I'm really happy with how that one was sewn on. That looks kind of perfect, right? Okay, let's go with it. You know what? Okay, I just got an idea. This seagull, I'm thinking like seagull that scuba dives. Are they scuba diving in the water? No, of course he's not scuba diving in the water, you guys. This seagull's a dumpster diver. Duh, it's a dumpster diving seagull. How do we make that more clear? That's what it's gotta be, right? A dumpster diving seagull in scuba gear? That sounds perfect to me. Hey, what should we put? Let's do an underlid too. So here's what I did on the last one. I do like an underlid like that. We can add that later actually too. But the idea here is if you use just a little bit of yarn in a different color, we can give him little under eye look. So we can choose that based on whatever we choose for our colors later. So we can add it later. But I do like to add something like that to just give a little bit of something. So let's just save it for right now. We can come back to it, but I think that'll be a fun idea. Right, Zoe? You know what's funny? I had that thought immediately, I just had the thought of the dumpster diving thing, but right when I thought about that, my first thought was dumpster diving seagull. That's a great idea. Zoe's gonna love this idea. That was my first thought. Zoe is gonna love this idea. By the way, quick shout out to our moderator Zoe, who just came out with this. Zoe, we need to talk about your new pattern because you're a freaking genius, girl. You're a genius. I love the idea. Zoe just came out with a new design for a wiener dog chapstick holder where the chapstick gets put into the wiener dog's bum. It's so funny, so clever, so cute. I absolutely, positively love it. It is so awesome. I highly suggest you guys check out Zoe's Instagram. Go ahead and put your Instagram handle in the chat, Zoe, but I think it's just Zoe the Unicorn. And I highly suggest you check out Zoe's new little chapstick holding wiener dog thingamabob. It's really funny. And also their shirt was amazing she was wearing a shirt that said alpha male, I think. I don't know. It was really cool. I really liked it a lot. So we're going to talk after this, but I really think that you need to start becoming a collaborator designer on Club Crochet, personally. And I know we've talked about that before, but we'll talk about it after this. I think it'd be really fun. Oh, it's an adapted from an... No, I mean... Okay. I do want to talk to you there later, because I think it's a really cool... I think it's a really, really cool idea. I've never seen anything like that, though. Should we put a trash bag hat on the Seagull? I think that might take away from the scuba gear a little bit, but maybe, I don't really know. I might, if I was gonna do a trash bag, I would have to like maybe actually cut out a real trash bag, you know? But it could work, especially because we could put, I don't hate that idea. So what I'm kind of thinking is we could do a trash bag that goes around the bottom of his wings as like a scuba gear thing. It could be cut out. That could be kind of fun. I'm gonna strongly consider that, Serena. It's not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and hide this end in, but we're just about done with the head. And then we're gonna move on to, I guess, to the wings. Or we can start doing the scuba gear part of it, but no, I think we should just keep going with like the regular pattern first, and then we'll customize it afterwards. So we're gonna go ahead and hide that end in there. Hey, that's coming together. That's a seagull's head if I've ever seen one. Kind of looks like, does anybody else get Sam the Eagle vibes from this? I'm getting Sam the Eagle vibes, which I'm always for Sam the Eagle vibes. Speaking of Sam the Eagle vibes, quick shout out to our good friend Drew, who I was showing you earlier. Drew made this cute little sea star. Drew has this book. Let me just show you. So Drew's a friend of the channel, a friend of mine. He's a great guy. But he's got this book called The Muppets Official Crochet Amigurumi. Check it out. It's very cool. I actually think there is a Sam the Eagle in here somewhere. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 110. Let's give it a look real quick. There he is. It's Sam the Eagle. It's kind of funny. Look at that. That's awesome. That's so cool. I love the fur around it too. That must have been a fun design for him. I'll have to text him after this. Okay. What are we making next, guys? Oh, let's get started on the other parts of him. So I think we should probably start with his wings. And now here's what I'm thinking for the design. Where did I do that with our drawing here? There it is. So I'm thinking that the wings and tail should be colored like he's in a suit, you know? Like they're in like their what's that? Like their wetsuit. So maybe we do them as in our cyan. You know, we do cyan for the wings and the tail so that it gives a little color into it and it gives more of like a suit vibe. And then we can also use the cyan in the mask as well. I think cyan feels very scuba divery. So let's go ahead and we're gonna do that. Let's go ahead and get our new ball of cyan open. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right. And we actually don't need too much here of our cyan. Okay. So we're gonna start by making. Let's go with the wings. I know if you're crocheting along with me, you've already probably made your wings and tail, because usually that's the start of the pattern. But I also need to make that. We're gonna do it in cyan. So we're gonna go with that one. Okay. that. You know what? Maybe I should have actually left that there. We're going to leave the tail end. We can hide it later if we need to. Yeah, that's fine. One. Because I use that tail end for sewing on to the body anyhow, so it doesn't hurt to have it not hidden right now because we're going to use it. Normally I hide tail ends so that like it doesn't come undone, but because we're going to use that tail end for sewing it onto the body, it doesn't really matter if we cut it early. Go 1, and we'll go 2 like that. Yeah, nice. And then, all right, we're gonna make our right wing first, just like the right-winged gull. Sings a song, sounds like he's singing. Oh, remind me to do that later when I sew on these wings onto the body. That's so funny. That's so dumb. Oh, that would have been a great clip if I did those. All right, 1, 2, 3, like that. And then I'm gonna we'll chain one. That tighter. All right, there's gonna be one wing. Pretty good, right? Nice. Okay, we'll put this to the side with our head there. And we gotta still make the left wing and then the tail. We're gonna do all that in Cyan. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Has anybody else... So I got kind of obsessed this week with Amy Poehler's podcast. Anybody else been listening to Amy Poehler's podcast by chance? It's really good. It's called A Good Hang. And I've just really enjoyed it. I like Amy Poehler's vibe quite a lot, and her guests are great. But the first episode made me laugh so hard. So in the very first episode of her new podcast, she's interviewing Tina Fey. But before she interviews her guests, she has friends of her guest on the podcast. So for Tina, it was friends of the podcast were like Fred Armisen, Seth Meyers, I think, and Colin Jost, and then what was her name? Rachel Dratch. Rachel Dratch was in a You thought it was a real bird? That's funny. Anyhow, Rachel Dratch was in the first like 10 minutes. I just highly suggest, if you haven't checked the show out yet, check out that first episode, and it is just so funny what happens in the very start. It's like, that comedian is Rachel Dratch is just so funny. I cried laughing. It was so funny. Highly suggested. Check it out after this stream if you got a chance. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's good. I've been practicing my cricket whistle all week. When I get obsessed, so I learned the cricket whistle from that show, actually, from that podcast, because there's an episode with Martin Short, which I love Martin Short. He's so funny. And in it, he does like something about making a joke and then doing like I can't do it anymore. But yeah, I can't. I got too much going on in my brain. But he does the little cricket noise, and I was like, how the heck did he do that? How did he do the cricket noise? Oh my god, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, I want to learn that noise. And then Jules was like, why do you want to learn this cricket noise so bad? And I was like, because my brother is known for making terrible jokes all the time that no one really laughs at. And classic older brother move. I'm going to use that on Taylor so much. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be so funny. He's going to find it really funny too. But that's just such a funny reason to learn a whistle, is just to mess with your brother. Very older brother mentality. I feel like it's what I'm supposed to do as an older brother, you know? All right, let's go ahead and put that right there. And now we got 2 of our wings. And we just got to make a tail, and then we can get working on the bird body next. Yeah, let me see. What is the bird? What is the tail? Okay, I have it here. 1.5. Oh, right. This is the one pattern where I do like a weird pointy tail because it's a seagull, right? And it goes all the way up to triple crochet. Why are they called treble crochets? I don't really get it. I've been crocheting for so long, and I remember when I first learned this stitch, I was like, triple crochet, got it. Okay, yeah, like there's the double and there's the triple. That makes sense. But then I realized, no wait, it's also called the treble crochet. Why even call it the treble crochet? Like, it's a triple crochet. I think it's probably because of the UK, I'm guessing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the UK has, like, a double crochet in the UK is a single crochet, so maybe like the triple is just confusing there, and so they're like, well, it's going to be a treble instead. I don't know though. Anybody know why it's called a treble crochet rather than a triple? Is it because it's like a treble clef, like a, maybe it's like a treble clef like the, you know, in music. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I'm very curious though. Why do they call it the treble crochet? I probably knew once upon a time, I just don't remember. Crochet stitches though, man, they're named the weirdest stuff. Half double crochet? Half double? Huh? That's not, that can't be, you know what I mean? Like what? All right, fix that last stitch. And there we go, we have our little tail. And we'll go ahead and cut that off. Use that for sewing on. And we've got a little tiny tail. I love the tail. Tail, big fan. Okay, little fan. Next up, so we got our tail. We got, ooh, you hear that? Treble is another word for triple? Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. All right, what do I need to make next? Our flippers. Okay, this is going to be a custom pattern. I think I'm going to basically use a similar technique to my... You know what, actually? Wait, before I make our feet... Before I make our little feeties, I gotta make the bird beak, but I want to know, should we do the feet in yellow or orange? Or I guess cyan, but no, I don't think cyan would be good. I think it needs to be different. So, yellow or orange. I think those are good choices. So, let me know. What color should we do our feet in? Yellow or orange? Let me know now in the chat. I'm gonna vote for that color. Ooh, it's a close vote. Ooh, it's a really close vote. Okay, well, while you guys are voting on that, I am gonna make the bird beak, which I don't need to... I know it needs to be yellow, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this. And then when it comes to the feet, how am I gonna even make the feet? I think if I use, there's like this technique I use in the seahorse pattern for making his fins, which might kind of work. So we'll try that out. There we go. a little tiny beak. That's going to be used for the inner head, for the burb part of the pattern. And then let me look. Let me see how I do that. Let me pull up that other pattern really quick, just so I can see. So instead of doing so we're gonna look up seahorse. I'm gonna go open Sal the seahorse, and there we go. So it's okay. Oh, okay. Oh no, that's a big fin. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a good system. I got an idea. Yeah. All right. We'll make that work. All right, what color? 22 votes. That's probably enough. Where's the vote? Oh gosh, it's really close though. I'll let it go. I'll try to let it go to 25 because that'll make sure that it won't be even if we do 25. In the meantime, though, we also need name suggestions. So name our seagull in the chat. If you have a good idea for a name of a dumpster diving seagull, let us know in the chat down below. Oh my gosh, I just got a great idea for the snorkel. What if we did a straw? You know, like a cut straw for his little thing. Okay, go ahead, continue your votes. I'm gonna let it get to 25. I'll be right back. I have straws in the other room. I just want to see if this will work because I think this would be a really fun idea. So be right back. Okay. These are a hot commodity here in California because they do not sell straws anymore. So let's look at this. Mr. Bean voice, my flexible friend. So I'm thinking, because we can cut this, right? And we can make it go like that. And obviously we'll cut it. But that would be really funny. That'd be a really funny little, like, you know, I think this is a good idea. Okay, we're going to put this to the side. Let me put that to the side. All right, we have 25 votes and 56% for orange. We're opening our orange for this. Wow, we're opening 4 colors today, or 3? Oh! All right. Okay. Even though we only need a little bit of this, but that's all right. All right, let's try to make these little feeties. And the first one I'm just gonna experiment on because they're gonna be made the exact same way. And then the second one, I'll explain what I'm doing so that if you wanted to also make flippers, you can learn how. Okay? So that'll be good. Let's go with it. So I know we want it longer. 2, 3, 4, maybe do 5. Is that gonna be long enough? Sure if it's like that long. Yeah, that probably would be long enough. We'll start there and we'll see how. I might need to make it longer. And then we just slip into that back loop, and then I'm just gonna slip stitch all the way down to try this out. Okay. And then I'll chain and turn, and then I'm just gonna work into, let's just try working the back loops for 3. Go 1. Maybe even just 2. No, we gotta do 3. Yeah, we don't want it to be too long of toes. Okay, I think this might work. 1, 2, and then we'll go into the top loop there for 1, 1, Okay. Yeah, I think this will work. It's going to come down to how I sew it on, I think, to really make it look like what we're aiming for, but let's find out. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. But you see, you guys see what I'm trying to do here? I think you're seeing the vision. 1. I crocheted it really tightly, which I didn't really need to do, but I did it anyhow. And 4, like that. Yeah, and then when we sew it on, we'll just have to sew it together kind of a little bit more, but then it'll make it more of like flippers, actual flippers instead, right? I think that actually worked kind of shockingly well. What do you guys think? Okay, we'll do a chain here. And then I'm going to explain what I did in this next part so that if you also want to make even just longer feet in general, you know, instead of making tiny feet, doing these longer feet like that. I think this kind of works actually. Right? Works on both sides. Wow, that looks actually really cool. I kind of feel like it should always have been this. A little bit. I don't know. Okay. Jack Crusto. Zoe. Dude, where did you get your brain? I love it. That's such a good name. Jacques Crusto. Oh, Snack Crusto is pretty good too. That's pretty good. That's a really good one. Snack Bandit. All right, so we're gonna go. Okay, so here's how I'm making the back feet, by the way. So just a quick tutorial for those who also want to make flippers for theirs and want to also make them into a seagull. Here's what we got. It goes. Hold on, I'm cracking all my fingies. Okay, so it's gonna go slip knot. You don't need too long of an end because we're just gonna use that for sewing onto the body. But slip knot, and then I'm gonna chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're gonna skip the first chain and work into the back loop of the next chain, which is gonna be this one along the back right there. Here, I'll get a little closer there. So skip that one, work in the back loop right here. And I'm just gonna slip stitch all the way down. So that's gonna be 4 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I really like, the more I'm thinking about the name Snack Crusto, the more I like it. All right, chain 1, and then we're gonna turn, and we're gonna only work in those top loops, and we're only gonna slip stitch 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, only in that top loop like that. Okay, and then we're just gonna go top loop only, 1. Oops. I'm crocheting really tight right now, which again, you don't need to do that. it's because they're slip stitches, so I'm, you know, on a live stream. So 1, 2, 3 like that. And then we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, turn our piece, skip the first chain, working into the top loops only, all the way down. We're gonna slip stitch all the way down. It should be 4 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4 like that. And then we're going to chain 1, turn our piece, slip stitch 3 only in the top loops down to the end. 1, 2, and 3. And then the last part, we're just going to repeat that the other round. Chain 2, 1, and 2. We'll turn our piece, skip the first chain, and then working in those top loops only, just slip stitch all the way down. It should be 4 slip stitches. 1, and notice how I'm doing only those top loops. 2, and there's 3, and then my last one's going to be right here, which is kind of hard to see that last one. So So just be careful there. But it's going to be 4, and then we'll chain 1. And there's our little feeties. We're going to cut the yarn. I don't think we're going to need a very long end. And then we'll just pull this all the way through. And now we have little feet. Now it does kind of look wide, right? Which I guess we could sew it on wide like that, but my goal is to just tuck these 2 ends in like this and sew it in like that so it has more of an angle to it. That's our aim. Okay, cool. All right, so we got our little feet, we got our beak, we got our arms. Is there anything we're missing here? Large beak, feet, wings. I think it's time we make our bird body. Woo! Cool. So for the bird body, we're definitely gonna want our gray. Oh! And we're definitely also gonna want our... I'm running out of this gray yarn. No, we're gonna keep that one. Use this. We're gonna need gray yarn, and we're gonna need our white yarn again. Where did I put the white? Here. Okay. So I think for the head, what we actually should do is let's go with our down. We're gonna use white first. So the burb, this is, by the way, this is what we're making right now. The burb, right here. This is the underhead part. We're gonna do, the top of this is gonna be white. So all the way down to right under where this beak is gonna be white. And then we'll do gray for this bottom bit. And then we're gonna do yellow line right here, right at the end. So that means that we're gonna do rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 in white. Actually, how far down does that go? Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna do 5 rounds in white, and then we're gonna switch over to our gray yarn after that. Ah, what did I do there? That was weird. Blair pretty. Chippy. Joggle. Jojo. I love that. When do I release the more mini burbs? Ooh, a mini burb. That would be fun. I have been working on a mini burb. I'll keep you in the loop. Make the bird sound. Wait. I think that's my best seagull. Oh, that's it. Oh my god, that was so good. Oh my god, that was so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'll try to do my cricket noise again for you, Ocean, because I'm obsessed with it. It goes. Wait. I'm getting so good at it. Oh, I'm gonna mess with my brother so much with that. I'm so excited. All right. I think I go straight up to 12 stitches here. Yeah, I do. Okay. 1, 2. All right, just a couple more. Okay, so we get up to 12 stitches. I'll do one more here. Pull that nice and tighter. And I'm actually gonna pull this right through the center because I always like to have a little tuft of hair at the top of the burb. So I pull out the center right through the very center of the piece, and then I cut it relatively short, like that long. And now we have this little bitty like fluff, see, at the top of the head, which I think is pretty cute. Have the burbs taken control of Louie? No. What made you think that? Are you part bird? You want me to teach you how to do a seagull? I can teach you. I think you can learn how to do Seagull. It's in, not out. So what you're doing is I like close up my throat. You know? Like that. And then I just do a squeak. Like I pull it in. And then I don't have a story like that. Noir. I didn't do that. Yeah. No, that ain't me, dude. But you pull it in, and it makes like a squeak. It's actually really fun to do too. What size yarn and needle are we using? Great question. The yarn we're using is worsted weight cotton yarn, and it is our personal brand of worsted weight cotton called Club Crochet Amigurumi cotton. And then for the, we're not using a needle, we're using a crochet hook, but our hook size is a 4mm. Now you can kind of see it right there. So that's that's our hook and needle. Not needle, but hook. And then we're using, I guess if you're actually asking about a needle, we are using the darning needle, which is, I don't know, a couple millimeters thick. I don't think that's what you were talking about, though. Yes, I've always just been 12 different animals inside of a human costume. It's true, and this costume the rubber is totally starting to tear, and I gotta get a new one. The 3 beavers in my stomach are just like fighting for space. Sorry, it's 1 beaver, 1 rat, and half of a raccoon. Not like in a bad way, but like it's just a small raccoon. He just refers to himself as half a raccoon because he thinks it's cute that way. We got a hummingbird in between the eyes. There's a most of a squirrel inside my knees. So yeah, we're working with a lot of different animals inside of this body. I'm not crazy. I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell, but stay a while, and maybe then you'll see a different side of me. When are more Bonimals coming out? I will work on some new Bonimals. I've been meaning to work on Bonimals for quite a while, actually. So, yes, I'll keep you in the loop, Ree. I promise you, they are on the mind. Yeah. Most of a squirrel. Listen, if you need me to clarify that, Coop, then too bad. All right, let's get some gray yarn up on her, and get color changing. So I think that was all we wanted to go to, right? We wanted to just get under that head, which we just did. We increased up to 15, and now we're gonna go to our next round here, and I want it to be gray, so that way, you know, it looks like it's wearing a little, our goal here is to make our seagull look like they're wearing kind of a little bitty, what's the word? Scuba suit? Wetsuit. Wetsuit is the word I'm looking for. And I knew it was in my brain. I just didn't know which one of the 12 animals' brains it was in. Turned out, it was in the ladybug's brain. That's right. There's a ladybug in there too. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. Okay, so we're just increasing up to 18 here. I remember now. Like this. Or our dumpster diving seagull. It's all, honestly, this whole seagull vibe is gonna ride on the mask that we make on top. So we really got to make sure we can do that mask perfect. So yeah, wish us luck. Oh man, my neck wants to crack really bad. It's right here, killing me today. I don't know what it is. I think it was like, I think I slept weird because, so Jimbo sleeps with us every night in the bed. Both of our cats do, but Jimbo sleeps on top of Jules's head every night. That is not an exaggeration. Literally every night, Jimbo comes into bed, steals my pillow, not exaggerating, straight up takes my pillow, lays right in the middle of it with his head on top of Jules's face every night. And which means that I don't get a pillow. I get a corner of a pillow. And I think that's what happened last night. And so my neck is like, ugh, you know? And then most of y'all know Jimbo is extremely sneezy. And so every night it's like a roll of the dice. Is Jimbo about to sneeze on top of Jules's head at 3 in the morning? Is it a day that ends with Y? Great, then yes. He sneezes on her all the time. It's so funny though. It's really cute. But it's a big booger. It's usually a big booger, and I have to get up, get her a little paper towel, and dab off the booger out of her hair. It's nasty. It's so gross, but it's really funny. Are any other colors I could make the Seagull with instead of gray? You ran out of gray. Yeah, definitely, man. Totally. Make a blue Seagull. That would be great. Or like, actually, a blue Seagull I think would be perfect. You know, it gives like Gulliver vibes from Animal Crossing too. Yeah, I highly suggest blue is the color I would do if I ran out of gray. Also, I think blue is kind of like the closest to gray in my brain too. Maybe it's because I'm slightly colorblind. I don't know. Did you know that? I'm a little colorblind. Not a lot, but a little bit. I learned when I was in elementary school that I was slightly colorblind in the colors red and green. But I also learned that even though people can be colorblind, you can get over your colorblindness. I know that doesn't sound like it's true, but if you work in color, if you're consistently looking at colors and need to differentiate between two, so like if you're a painter, for example, but you're colorblind in two colors, your brain will start to acknowledge the different shades of two colors. And over time, you're going to start to actually be able to perceive the difference of two colors. So it's almost like you're not colorblind anymore. And I kind of think that might be the case for me now, because I don't think I have a problem with red and green at all anymore. And it was such a slight color blindness that like I don't think I really had a problem with it in general. But yeah, just something you might not know about me. All right, we're gonna pull this through. Yeah, Jules's brother is really colorblind though. It was really funny. One time we were at like one of the niece's birthdays, and he was coloring an egg, and he was coloring it in brown. He was coloring an egg in brown, and I was like, what are you doing, man? And he's like, oh, I'm making an egg for Jules. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, yeah, purple's her favorite color, right? And I was like, oh no, Jimmy, buddy, that's straight brown. He laughed so hard. He had no idea. He thought he was coloring it all purple. It was so funny. All right, so there's our little baby beak on there. That looks pretty good, I think. It was really funny, though. It was like my first instance of like, wow, that's what being real colorblind is like. Because like a little colorblind is one thing, but that's a lot of colorblind. All right, we're going to add in our little 8mm eyes onto the burb section of our pattern. So these go right here, like these, and right here, like that. Nice. Mr. Scrabby. I like the name, Tina. All right, so we got our eyes on there, and we got our little baby beak. Next, we can, oh shoot, you know what? Was I supposed to do this round in the half color changes? It was. Okay, because we wanted to do, remember we wanted to do a belt? So I gotta go back. Not a big deal. No biggie, just one round. All good. And then we need our yellow, or do we want orange? What color should we make the belt? You know what? It's time to get another vote in the books. So, belt color. Do we want orange or yellow? What color for the belt? And this is going to be really slight, but, or we can do a different color. We can do yellow, orange. We could do cyan. I think it could work with our wings and stuff, so I'll put it on there. And then our last color option could be... Nah, let's just do those three colors. Okay. All right, vote in the chat. Yellow, orange, or cyan for the belt. I'm going to be right back. I got to go pee. But I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds? What? Oh, no. I'm back. I'm back. All right. What color are we making for our belt? Oh, wow. A lot of people are voting cyan. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. Okay. Oh my gosh, Zoe hit a bunch of gnomes at the cottage that you visited last weekend. No one noticed till after you'd left. Exactly what those are for. Good job. I'm proud of you. That's great. That's so funny. Okay, I'll wait just a second longer to see what color you guys want for that. And in the meantime, though, let's experiment just a little bit with how we're gonna make our mask here, because so the mask's gonna have to go over this. So I'm kind of thinking if we do a long chain, you know, a chain that's about as long as we want. So basically a chain that's from eye to eye. And then I start working around it and I do single crochets on this side. And then on this side we do like half double crochets and doubles so that it goes like out and big. And then it comes down back in and then we slip stitch across. And then we do it again over here where it turns around. And then I'll slip stitch it in, or I'll change colors over here. And then we'll do color slip stitches all the way on the outside stitches there. It might work. And then when I get to the edge here, all the way to the end, I'll do a long slip stitch or chain that I'll just go around and we'll just sew it onto the head. I think that's the best way to make it work. I don't know though. All right, 21 votes. That's great. It's an odd number even. What color are we doing for the belt? Cyan. All right, let's do it. I will listen to the chat. All right. What am I doing? Cyan like this. Yeah. Yeah, we don't need to worry too much about I don't think we need to worry too much about the jog and the color changes here because they're going to be covered up by the wings anyhow, so it won't really matter. So we're just going to do half color changes all the way across in the cyan, which is going to give us a nice color bit for the belt, which I think is going to add a good amount. And then also we can do, it'll also pull in the body a little bit to make it just a little bit, just a little skinnier, which works really well because we're in a wetsuit. So we want him to look a little skinnier. I can't wait to look at all the name suggestions you guys have been putting in the chat for this seagull. Great suggestions I saw, but I'm sure I missed a bunch of them too. So I'm really excited to see what was written down. All right, nice. You know, we might even be able to do like straps up and around. That might be kind of fun too, but actually maybe we won't need that. We'll see. We'll see. And then if we want to do a scuba like gear, you know, like a tank and an apparatus or something, we can do that. Or we could just do the little, what's it called, thingamabob. You know what I'm saying. Thingamabob. What's it called, thingamabob? The one that goes, this thing. Not scuba, not, it's like a snorkel. You know, that word is just, for some reason, doesn't compute with my noggin. My noggin goes, snorkel. What is a snorkel? This is a weird word, huh? Snorkel? Snorkel. Snorkel. You know what? Snorkel could be a fun name for a goblin. I am Snorkel. Oh my gosh, guys, by the way, I decided on my new D&D character. So I'm, me and my crew that plays D&D together, we're doing a new campaign. And it's so funny. My DM really wants to do a horror-themed campaign. So it's all going to be, like, scary. But I never come up with serious characters. They're always the most ridiculous characters ever. And so I decided, I love like making his spooky campaigns like silly. It's just so much fun. Ooh, I love that idea, Zoe. If we could do the tank as a soda can or a bottle. Ooh, I like that idea. I wonder if I have a little tiny bottle anywhere. Ooh, I really like that idea though, Zoe. I wonder how we would do that. I mean, obviously I can crochet one. I could try crocheting one. I know I could crochet a soda can at least. I really like that idea. It'd be really cool if I could find just like a little tiny soda can though. That would be the best. Did you guys hear Jimbo sneeze? He just had a big old snot rocket, I think. He's about to. I can hear him. He's raring one up. No? Okay. He stopped. He didn't want to sneeze. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, my new character. So he wants to do, like, this serious campaign, right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't do serious campaigns, but I will do my best for you, buddy. And I decided to make Chum Buckley my character. The actual silliest character I could absolutely make. If you don't remember, from one of our previous live streams where we were crocheting goblins, I made a little character that we named Chum Buckley. He was a fly fisher, little baby goblin fly fisher, and he and when I say fly fisher, wait a second. Oh no, I missed an increase over here. Shoot. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna let that be strike 2.5 because you've been very good. What? What's wrong? No. Getting awfully close to biting me in the face. But I love you. But I love you. You want to say hi? Say hi. No? You just want to be held. It's funny how I just hold him like this and he just starts purring immediately. I do think I need to get you a baby Bjorn. Thank you. Wow, you're so sweet. Very gentle. Thank you for being gentle. I do have to let you go now, though. I'm working. I'll give you one more chance to say hi. Okay. Bye, bud. So I totally missed an increase right here. When I started that color change stuff, I totally screwed it up. But I'm not gonna go back. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. How are they gonna know? 1, 2, 3. We're just gonna live with that. Jimbo, that is an immediate strike. I'm sorry, buddy. He bit me in the feet. He's gotta go. Say bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, Jimbo. Sorry, bud. You know the rules. You get 3 strikes, you get to say hi, and then I gotta kick you out because I gotta do something. You're too distracting. Sorry, buddy. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Alright. Do my cats behave while I crochet? I think that's pretty obvious that the answer is no. Look at this beautiful wet spot in my yarn. I wonder where that's from. Couldn't be from a terrible, evil, angry kitty cat. Couldn't be. Then who? Okay. Now he's wandering the house, yowling. Meow, bow. Okay. 1 there and 1 decrease here. And I hope this will be the correct stitch count, but we're going to find out. Anyhow, so my character is Chum Buckley. He is a little goblin that is a fly fisher, meaning he literally fishes for flies. And the technique he uses to catch flies is he puts a little turd on the end of his fishing pole, and that's how he catches flies really easy. So he's really good at fly fishing. But for my character, like to make him, D&D themed, he can pull his little fishing pole and he can hook it to the bottom of his fishing pole and turn it into a longbow because he's a ranger. So he's like a little archer guy now. And then rangers have pets, so I get to have a pet, a companion for him. And so his companion is a pet rock. It's a giant pet rock named Chris Rock. And it rolls around with him. And yeah, I got the A-OK from the DM that I'm allowed to have a pet that's the size of a bear, and I can make it anything I want, but it'll have the stats of a bear. And I said, okay, sure. And he said, yeah, so you can do like an owl bear. And I said, yeah, I could do an owl bear. I might want to do something more like weird. And he said, oh, okay, yeah, I can't wait to hear what you come up with. I do not think he was expecting me to come up with a pet rock. I think it's going to be very, very funny. I think the rest of the players are going to be like, Louie, again? This will be the 3rd time or 4th time I came up with like the most ridiculous character for our campaigns. It's so silly. I love it though. I'm very excited about that. Okay, let's give him, let's sew on our little fella's wings here. So we've got wings on the side, like that, and then we got our tail on the back. I think Cyan was probably a good move for our belt. I think it looks more like a belt because of that. So good job. Good choice, chat. Let's go with the front of this first. Like that. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about this character. I wasn't at first because I was like, oh, a horror-themed one. I don't know if I'm really into that. Like, that's kind of not my vibe, really. But, I want to play D&D. I'll play it. I just don't know what I'm going to do. And then I came up with this character, and I'm like, I'm going to make your horror thing silly. I won't ruin his campaign in any way, but I don't know. It made it way more exciting for me. Now I'm like, yeah, let's play D&D. Oh, and then how he talks. I forgot. I always come up with a voice. I'm the only one in our campaign that does voices, other than the DM. Actually, Jules will probably do a voice too, but most people don't usually do voices that we play with. So it'll be fun to be the one that does a voice. My voice is gonna be like,
Well, yeah, I suppose so. My name is Chum Buckley. It's a pleasure to meet you. That's how it's gonna talk. This here's my friend Christopher.
and they're gonna be like, is he a rock? And I'm gonna be like,
He's not a rock. He's a boulder. A boulder.
oh, I'm such a stinker. Such a stinker. Should be fun. I will keep you guys updated. Our first game is supposed to be next Tuesday. We might need to move it though because we're going to be moving, so we'll see. All right, there's one of our wings sewn on, looking good. And by the way, here's what our head looks like on. Oh, hold on, we got to stretch that head out a little bit. There we go. Nice. Okay, yes, that is totally giving. That is definitely giving a wetsuit vibe. The cyan I think really helps with that. So good yarb, I like it. Let us sew on the other wing now. Just like the one wing go, sings a song, sounds like he's singing. Alright, back to it. I think we're gonna go right here for that second wing. So it's a little further away. Because right here might be too close and might not line up. So we're gonna go right there with it. And I'm just gonna have it come out through that side. Like that. We'll go around this stitch right there. I like it. I like it. And then we'll go right here with this back stitch. Yeah, that'll be good. Dumpster Dive and Seagull. My dumpster diving darling. That's a new song I'm writing right now. She's my dumpster diving darling, always getting me the food that I need, that I want. One time she found half an avocado and we ate it, and it didn't make us sick. Wow, what a beautiful, oh gosh, I'm such a talented musician. Wow, so good at writing. You're chilling, Ocean. No worries at all. That is a beautiful bird. Well, thank you very much, Ro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Now he's just like the two-winged gull. And it sings a song, sounds like he's singing. All right, tail. Tail. You know where the tail goes? It goes on the butt. Well, tail goes on the booty. We're gonna go like these. Wait. So I want it to go around. So I want it to be basically centered on that. So we'll go right here, and then we'll have the other stitches go 1, 2, that. Nice. And then we go into, I always like to go around this end and then out through the other side like that. and listen. And there we go. We got a tail attached to this little booty. Looking cutie. Looking like a cutie with that tail booty. Oh wait, I want to sew it on like this. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Cool. Alright, now we got the wings and the tail sewn on. Next up, let's add our little feeties. Our flippers. Now the flippers are gonna be weird. It will look very funny with the flippers actually. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do, the flippers have 2 tail ends, right? And the 2 tail ends are actually gonna go just right next to each other, I think. So we're gonna do one right here, like that. And then I'll do the other one in the next stitch over, which looks really close, but I think it's gonna pull the back of this foot in a lot, which will make it look more like a flipper, I think. Let's see. Let's find out what happens here. Pull that in, pull that in, and I'm gonna pull these tail ends enough so that they pop into the inside of our stitches here. If I can. There we go. See, so I just want to get those little knots in there so I know that it's pulled in as much as I can. And then let's look on the outside. Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that works actually. That looks like a flipper, I think. Yeah. Right? Yeah, it's long. I mean, I think it clearly looks like a flipper, which is good. We want it to look like a flipper, not just like a long foot of a seagull. You know, I don't want someone to look like that and go like, okay, they got regular seagull feet. I want them to look at it and go, oh, I see flippers because it's a scuba diving seagull. Dumpster diving seagull. Nice. I think that's actually pretty good. These would be good duck feet too. Oh my gosh, only 6 more likes to get to 100? Wow. Everybody, if you haven't already, like this video down below, and we're going to unlock a new giveaway in our next live stream. By the way, the next live stream will be on, I believe the next live stream will be on not this Friday, but the Friday after, or sorry, not next Friday, but the Friday after that. So it'll be on the, what Friday is that? If today is the 18th, 14 plus 18 is, someone math this for me, 32. So it'll be August 1st, maybe? I think August 1st. I think. But I'm not the mathiest. Alright, there's one knot in there. There's the other one. And let's see how the second foot looks. One. Double knot like that. And cut it. And there's our big ol' flippers. Very flippery. Very flippery. Wow. Ooh, maybe a little too flippery. No, it's not too flippery, I don't think. I think that looks pretty good. Great. Let's put our head on, and let's actually, I'm going to stuff it a little bit, the head itself a little bit too. Just to keep its shape, see, because it's like kind of flattening. So we're just going to put a little bit of stuffing in the top of its head. August 1st. Okay, cool. Thank you, Cooper. Woo, we hit 100 likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We're going to definitely do a giveaway next live stream. I'm going to add just a little bit more stuffing in that. I don't think I really needed that, but... so we'll definitely be doing a giveaway next live stream. Go ahead and toss that head on there. All right. Okay, so that already is, in my opinion, it is giving... I think it's given pretty good seagull diver vibes already. But obviously the top part is going to be the thing that really sells it. So let's go ahead next and we'll finish up this body and sew it closed, and then we'll get started on the scuba gear. So I think we'll start with the mask because I think that's gonna do the most. That's gonna do the most heavy lifting for our design. So let's go ahead and we'll finish this body up first. Of course, I'm gonna add my mini magnets in this, but you don't have to. If you're crocheting along with us and you're making your seagull right now, feel free to save your magnets if you want to. I like to add 3 magnets into the bottom of my burbs to make them perch on anything metal, but you could add your magnets into a later project also, to make like the beach ball that attaches to the nose of your seal or something like that. So. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say thank you for getting to the 100 likes before the end of the live stream too. Let's take another look at a future pattern also. So that's kind of like a fun thing we could do. So let me finish this up here. And before we get started on our snorkel parts, I'll show off a future design. And one of them, actually, I'll start by showing off the one design that we did show last week, because some people weren't here to see that, and I think people are really gonna like it. Hey, guess what? Huh? That's all. I just want to say at you. You want some crocheted Pokemon? I might do crocheted Pokemon. We do have some crocheted Pokemon on the website. Here's the problem. Milk and coffee. I have a hard time doing crocheted Pokemon because I don't want to get a cease and desist. Now I know Pokemon I probably won't, but I have gotten it before in the past. They told me to take some stuff down. That was a long time ago, but ever since then I've been a little bit more wary of doing copywritten characters, which is why you see pretty much all of my designs are original designs. Because I usually don't like to use a copywritten character for my designs. But that being said, I am obsessed with Pokemon, so I might toss some more Pokemon up on the site soon. It is definitely not out of the question, and your feedback is welcomed. Thank you. A group of unicorns is called a blessing. I ain't never seen a group of unicorns before. I've only seen a group of centaur, which I don't know what those are called. What's a group of centaur called? His feet are amazing. Wow. It's pretty great. Pretty great. That's great. All right, let's add our little mini magnets in this. So we're going to do our 3 mini magnets right in the base here, just to make it so that they can perch on anything metal, which you know I love doing. It also has the effect of making the bottom of them just a little bit heavier, which in a case like this isn't really that helpful, but with our Amigurumis that can be pretty helpful to have it be just a little heavier on the bottom so that they're not too top heavy. Like the gnomes can have a hard time sitting down if you're not like sewing it closed in the right way, but if you add little mini magnets or something into the base of them to make them a little heavier, that totally works too. There we go. Yeah, Bear, that's actually another reason why I don't do little Pokemon, or do Pokemon that much, is because I know a lot of other people also are doing Pokemon, and so it doesn't really, you know, I love Pokemon. It's fun to crochet, but, like, you know, no one's making burbs. I'm the one that makes the burbs. So I kind of, yeah, whereas a lot of people make Pokemon. Okay. So there is our body sewn closed, and it looks absolutely bonkers. But then we add our head on there. Wait, this is the wrong head. This is the right head. We get our head on there. Okay, and we got a seagull in a wetsuit. Great. Seagull wetsuit, totally. Now, we finally get to start customizing our seagull a lot more. So let's start by customizing them with the mask. I think the mask is definitely the first one we gotta do. Yeah. So my thought is, you know, we'll use the white, we'll use the cyan. We'll start with the white, and I will explain the stitches as I go so that later when I write this down, it'll be a little easier for me. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to try it. So here's the idea. We're going to chain enough to go across from one side of the eye to the other. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's try 7. 7 might work. 7 might work. And then we do slip, 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 slip. Our single, actually singles all cross. And then that big stitches. And then it would be dip, dip, dip. And then slip, slip, dip, dip, dip. I'm gonna do one more. Okay, so that's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chains to start us. And then I'm gonna start by skipping the first chain, and we're just gonna single crochet across to the other side. So that's gonna be 7 single crochets across. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll go 7. That. And then in our last one here, we want to turn it. So we're going to go into our last chain. I'm going to do one more single crochet. Like so, 1, 2, and then I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. And I'm going to do one more into the same stitch. We're going to do a half double crochet into that same stitch also. Let's try that. So there we go. Yeah, okay. So again, that's chain 8, skip a stitch, single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then to the last stitch, single crochet 2 and half double crochet 1. And then I'm going to do double crochet into the next stitch. Yeah, let's try that. We're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch like that. And then it's going to be, let's look this on our head here. Okay, so it goes like this. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then we're going to do, I think we just need to do slip stitches here. So let me see. We got 1, 2, maybe 3. Yeah, and then that double and half single. Okay, so we're going to, okay, so I did that. Those 2 single crochets and a half double crochet in the same stitch, a double crochet in the next stitch, and then I'm going to chain 1 and then slip stitch into the next stitch over. And then I'm going to slip stitch 2 after that first one. So 1, 2, 3. So it's chain 1, slip stitch 3. And then I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2 to get back up. And we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch. Yeah. Let's see this on the head. Oh, that's a little high up, huh? Okay. So we're going to have to fix that up. That's not going to work. All right, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. My daddy taught me good. All right, so slip stitch into that stitch is fine. So chain 2, slip stitch into that stitch, which is right like that, is where we're aiming, like this. And then instead of, you know what, I'm going to go all the way up a stitch. So we're going to go, instead of slip stitching into the next one, we're going to go up to the stitch above it right here and do a slip stitch. Like that, which I think will pull our stitches way up. And then yeah, so slip stitch way up and then slip stitch into the next chain. I think that extra little oomph there might make it more like it's not really as down as I want it to be though. Might be best to, like, when we go back around, to make it a little wider on the bottom here. And then do, okay. We're gonna chain 1, 2 here. Then I'll do a double crochet here. And we're going to work her back around with a half double in the last stitch. And then another single crochet in the next stitch like that. And that'll be like this. It's almost giving sunglasses, but that's okay. You know? This. The thing is, I'm going to need to keep it pulled down. But I think if I do... Yeah. Okay, we're going to change now to Cyan. Just going to pull through with our Cyan color. That. And then I'm going to work into the back loop only and slip stitch across. I'm thinking if I work into that back loop, it'll create like more of a line, I'm thinking, but this might backfire. We're going to try by just doing the back loop only though. Okay. And then we'll keep doing slip stitches. One. When it gets to this one here, you know what? Yeah, we'll do slip stitches all the way until we get to that half double crochet where we're going to do a single. Let's try that because I want it to be bigger down here. So single crochet 2, so it's a single in the half and single in the single, or in the double rather. And then we'll go back to slip stitches into the back loops. So just 2 singles, which will, it also like kind of pulled it in, which is nice to make it more goggly. And then we'll just keep doing slip stitches into the back loops only until we get to the other double crochet where we'll put a single crochet into it. 1, 2. Let's go right here. I don't want to get to that other stitch though. There we go. And there's 2 chains. I guess I should just slip stitch into those chains too. Yeah, that's fine. Right? Yeah, that's probably fine. Slip stitch. Nice. Okay, now we'll do a single crochet into that double. Oh, thank you, Blair. Thank you for letting me know. But I will, yes, I'll handle that in just a second. Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you so much for your support. I'm so sorry I missed it. I'm very focused on this weird sleep mask looking thing. And we'll do a slip stitch here. And let's see how that looks on the face. So that's going to go like this. Almost giving snow goggles, too, which actually is kind of cool. Yeah, so it's they're kind of barely covering the eyes, though. So I'm kind of wishing that this had more of a, like, you know, like it rounded in more like that would be nice. Because then it would go over the beak a little bit better. Let's see. But maybe if we just do our... And also, it could go just on the top of the head. Actually, you know what? It could just go on the top of the head, too. That's actually kind of fine. For it to go on the top of the head. It's kind of cute, actually, on the top of the head, too. Alright, we're going to just do this, then. Because I'm kind of comfortable with this. We're going to go and cut this yarn. And I'm going to hide a lot of our ends here. So first I'm going to cut our 2 white ends. And I'm going to explain these stitches again, just out loud for myself later. Unless Zoe happens to be writing, or Coop happens to be writing it down. But it's okay if you're not, Coop. Don't worry about it. So it was chain 8, slip stitch 6, then single crochet, half double crochet, or no, then 2 single crochets and a half double crochet, then a double crochet after that, then I chained 1, slip stitch into the next stitch, then I worked up to the top stitch, so I worked over into the one above it and slip stitched, and then I worked back into those chains and slip stitched 1 more. Then I chained 2 to get my stitches back up and double crocheted into the next stitch. Then into our very last stitch around our circle here, I did a half double crochet and a single crochet into the same stitch. Then I changed over to Cyan and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slip stitches in a, no, sorry, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 slip stitches, and then 2 single crochets, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slip stitches, then 2 single crochets, and I finished with the slip stitch. Okay. Now the last thing we want to do is I want to create like a line, like a long chain that I can connect to this other side. Yeah. So I'm going to chain a bunch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's go 14. Let's try that. I'm also going to cut this yarn. I'm going to have to hide this end in, so I'm not going to cut it too short. That's probably good. That. And then we're going to make this go across the back. I'm going to sew it onto the head too. But we're going to have it go all the way across to the back like this. Actually, I don't even know if we need to sew it on necessarily. Pretty good. And it can go down technically. It's hard, but it does. Okay, and then we're just going to connect to with a slip stitch to the other side just before that single crochet, so it's in the same spot like that. Oh, sorry, I kind of did that chain. That chain got like all mixed up with me, so let's try that again. That, and like that. This. And then if that went on the back like that. Nice. Yeah, pretty good. Should I slip stitch back across? Yeah, we are going to do that. All right, so I slip stitch to that. I'm going to turn my piece. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. If I'm going to do that, then this needs to be at the top part. Okay, so chain 14. Hardcore focusing right now. I'm sorry, team. I will be done in just a moment. Just need this part at the top instead. Like, I just got hit by a wave of sleepiness too, which sucks. I hate when that happens, especially in a live stream. I get like, oh, you know, it's like running a marathon and hitting the wall. All right, there we go. There, that, and then we're gonna turn. It did still end up on the bottom part. And whatever. We're just gonna slip stitch all the way across now. Back to the beginning. Take it back to the start. Where I can connect it to that other end of white yarn. To finish it up. Yeah. This is good. This is good. And I think having it on the top too is going to make it way cleaner looking. Instead of having it like actually attached to the head. I think this will make it look cleaner in general. And then I'm going to cut the yarn. Glad I'm recording this process too. And we're going to pull it all the way through because this would be so hard to remember how I did it. It's looking pretty good though. And then I'm just going to hide these ends in. My phone is running out of battery, so good to know. Thank you for letting me know, Mr. Computer. 1, 2. Okay. That. And then we can... I guess we could just double knot these two together before I hide them in. Probably wouldn't hurt. 1. Oopsies. Ooh, maybe this will hurt. 1. And then 2. This might create a knot, though. Well, I mean, it definitely will create a knot. But might not be too big of a problem. All right, let's hide these ends in. I'm just gonna go into the back of a couple stitches here. Maybe like this far in. Like that. Let's see how that goes. This. And then I'll hide this other end in like this. Nice. Just hidden around in the back of some stitches. Okay. All right. Cut the yarn. Tina! All right. There is our snorkel, like our what is this called? Like our mask. I think that's, honestly, I think that's pretty good. And then we just put this on the head. We don't actually need to attach it if you don't want to. And already, big time, given those big time dumpster diver vibes. All right, now we can do, we could just put this in there like that and cut it, you know? That actually already works. But we wanted to do an air tank in the back too, with a little apparatus that maybe we have in the front. But this is hilarious if we just do this too. And we just cut it. That's kind of hilarious. Okay, we'll think about it. All right, hey Dad, when is this live stream over? Pretty soon. I think we're just about done with it. My dad is in the chat. Hi, Dad. Tina, thank you so much for your support. Super appreciate it, Tina. Let's go ahead and put out something for Tina, just to say thank you. And thank you for your patience too. Let's go with, you know what? Let's go with our bucket guy from last time, Ripple. Let's go ahead and put Ripple out. So this was Ripple from last live stream. And so we're gonna have it in the background because Tina super chatted. So thank you, Tina. If anybody else wants to super chat, I'll add another thing into the background for you. We'll have them right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So we got our mask. Like that. I think we should make the... I think we should do this way. Yeah, I think we should just... I think first off, this part needs to be cut smaller. So let's go ahead and we're going to cut this bottom part first. Like that. Whoop. Okay. And then we'll have this part going like this. And then I think we only really need it to be like this tall. All right. I like that. Honestly, I actually already like it. It's gonna be nice. We'll add an air tank on the back, but like, honestly, it's already given big dumpster diver vibes, I think. So we'll go ahead. We'll do an air tank though in the back. And I loved the idea of making it kind of look like a soda can. So we're gonna try that. I'll do my best. But we do need to get a vote going for the name. And I think we can have the vote for the name going for quite a while, too. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get our vote going. And we will... Yeah, we'll vote on that. Okay, let's go with... I got to pick some names here. Sorry, give me just a second. Because your name suggestions were great. All right, I definitely love that. I'm kind of... I don't know. I don't know if I like Jack Crusto or Snack Crusto more. Ooh, I love that name though. One. Wow. Wow. Guys, name suggestions are so good. And... oh, I'm gonna go with this one. And the last name, oh my god, the choices are so hard. I think this one. Oh, these are such good name suggestions, though. All right, we're going to do... Yes, absolutely. Mine. Name our Seagull. All right, so name suggestions are... Hold on. All right. Name suggestions are Duncan. Great name suggestion. Duncan. So good because it's like dumpster diving and also like Dunkin' Donuts. Hilarious. Love it. Bagel. Bagel the Seagull. Great name. Great name. Jacques Crusteau. C'est magnifique. Oui? C'est magnifique. In fact, I think regardless, we might have the last name of Crusteau because I think it's just such a funny last name. And then the last name suggestion is Scuttle. Scuttle, such a cute name. I will say if we don't name this Scuttle, we will name something later Scuttle. And that actually brings me to, I wanted to show you guys something. I meant to show you this to say thank you for getting this to 100 likes. So, for getting us to 100 likes, I want to show off something that we're coming out with later in the season. Probably not too much later. I expect them to be out. I also want to record this tomorrow, so hopefully soon. Is our new Amigurumi pattern, and it's just the first Amigurumi pattern. We're probably gonna do more minis throughout the season, but for our first one, gosh, I'm so excited to share this. And I shared this last live stream, but we'll share it again. Remember I said I wanted to save some of that beige yarn? It was for this little fella. A tiny itty bitty hermit crab, and the shell comes off. Double Amigurumi pattern. This is Amigurumi, less than 100 stitches. This is Amigurumi, less than 100 stitches. And it goes on like that. And of course you can choose different colors, different eyes. I am obsessed. Here's my plan for this season. For those curious. So the first plan is a challenge. I want to do a Club Crochet challenge where you make your own hermit crab and then you make a different shell for it. So the hermit crab will be normal, and then you just make as many, like you make a different shell for your hermit crab. I think that's what the challenge is going to be. And last night I was thinking about when to start the challenge. I think August 15th is going to be when the challenge will start. Me and Zoe and Coop need to talk about it. So we're going to like figure out the challenge details together. But just keep in mind, that's the plan, is we're going to have a Club Crochet challenge for these little guys soon. So keep a lookout, and these patterns will come out pretty soon. I think the plan was to come out with these like around when we start the season, the new challenge. So probably early August. Expected around early August. But this is going to be one of the new patterns for the season, and I honestly think this will be my favorite pattern this season. We'll find out, but I really, really like it. So thank you for getting this to 100 likes. Thank you guys for being here so much. We're not done yet. We're almost done, but we're not done yet. But I just want to say thank you for being here, and thank you for checking this out, and I hope you guys like these little guys too. All right, let's continue on. First things first, I am the realist. But then after that, I need to plug in my phone because it's going to die. So 1 second. All right. There we go. We live. Okay, so let's make a little scuba gear for this fella. For our scuba gear, I think we should go with a color that isn't already being used, maybe. So let's go with our pink and our gray. Oh, beautiful. Gorgeous. Perfect. Ugh. And then we need our gray yarn. And our goal here is to make this look like a Coke can if we can. Haha, if we can? Sure. A Coke can or some kind of... Actually, maybe we should use red instead. Let's use red, because then it'll look more like a Coke, you know? So we're going to do a gray on the top. And I'm going to just say this out loud, what I'm doing, just so that we don't forget what we're doing here. And the goal is we're gonna do 6 single crochets into the magic loop for round 1 in gray. 3, 4, 5. Is this gonna be big enough though? Let me see. 6. Is this gonna be big enough for a little apparatus? Let's see. That. Is that too small? Yeah, let's do 8. We're gonna do 8 instead. So 6, 7, and we're gonna go up to 8 single crochets. Oopsies. And then we're gonna work into the top loops only, and we're just gonna do a slip stitch all the way around. And this is gonna create a little lip at the top to be more like a Coke can lip, you know? So we're just slip stitching around in that front loop only for 8 stitches. I hope this works. We'll see. And oops, there we go. 8. And then I'm actually gonna cut the yarn here. I'm gonna cut the gray yarn. We'll pull it through, and I'm gonna do a hidden end into that first slip stitch that we made. And we're gonna pull a new loop at the bottom of that to go across. Okay, so we're gonna hide this end in like this. And we're gonna work into the back like that. Yeah. Oopsies, I ripped the yarn, but whatever. And we're just gonna go back into the stitch like this. I got too aggressive there and I totally snapped just a section of that yarn. Alright, that's okay though. Alright, so there's the start. It just makes this nice little clean edge. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just grab this red instead of opening our new red. And I'm gonna pull a loop through the first unused back loop, which is gonna be like right here. Somewhere right here. One. You know what? Let me count my stitches. So if it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that one's gonna be the first one. I'm gonna pull it to right here. If it can. Jeez Louise, guys. There we go. And we're just gonna make a loop, pull a loop through. I'm gonna create a little chain. And then we're gonna take our tail ends here. We're gonna also fold those over. And I'm gonna work around both those tail ends and into these back loops. And just do single crochets all the way around. Probably for a while too. Put that a little tighter. It's not bad. Do one into the next stitch right here. Around those. That, and I think I can just cut those loose now. I don't think we need them anymore. That's pretty good. And then I'm just gonna keep, yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna keep single crocheting into those unused back loops. There should have been 8 single crochets total. Yeah. The good news is, even if this doesn't work, I think our Seagull already basically looks done. So, you know, worst case scenario, we just go back to what we got right now, and that's like an A+ anyhow. But we're looking for that S tier. Okay, yeah, all right, I'm seeing, sure. I mean, it's a little small, but it'll look cute. And then I'll just single crochet a couple more, and then we're just gonna close it up real easy. Yeah, that'll be nice. Okay. So I'm just gonna go into both loops now of the red like this. And I'll just single crochet all the way around for this one. Oh, see you later, Zoe. I'm sorry, I totally missed that. See you, Zoe. Hubby needs a haircut. Oh, that's cute. That's really sweet. I love that. I'm assuming you cut your hubby's hair. That's really sweet. Love that. My gosh, is my mom gonna steal this Seagull? Probably. Probably. Knowing how my mom do. She loves to steal our favorite live stream crochets. All right, so we're just gonna crochet. Yeah, we'll just keep crocheting around this. Probably for a couple rounds here. I mean, we don't need this to be too, like, long. But obviously we need a little bit of a... It needs to have a little height to it. Like that, kind of. It doesn't really look as much like a Coke can as it does just like a, you know, a tank. Which is fine. I think we'll do 2 more rounds of this. And then we'll close it up. So that would be 4 rounds total, I believe, for this red. I think. 3. Yeah, nice. 5, 7, and 8. 1, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it'd be nice if I had like a little Coke label. It would be great, but I obviously am not going to have that. So we'll do 1 more round here of red. 1, 2, 3. 5. All right, now how are we going to do this next part? 6, 7, and go 8 right there. And now's the big question: is do we just close it up? I mean, I'm going to do a little round of slip stitches around the outside there in gray, but is that actually tall enough too? Yeah, I think that is tall enough. Yeah, I think what we're going to do then, I'm just going to slip stitch into the back loop of this next stitch right here. And cut the yarn. I want this long enough to sew it closed, so I'm going to just leave that there like that. So I slip stitch in that back loop, I cut the yarn, and now we're going to use our gray yarn again. And I'll pull a loop through that front loop that we didn't slip stitch into right there. And I'll tell you what, we're just gonna pull a loop through that. And I'm not gonna chain one. We're just gonna leave it there, but I am gonna start slip stitching into each stitch around. And I'm gonna try to work around that tail end as I go to, I like sort of hide it in. So I'm like folding that over like that, and then working into the stitch. Just for like 1 or 2, I think will work. Yeah, I don't know if this is really going to work out for us or not. We'll find out in just a moment. 3, there should be 8 of these slip stitches. 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then, you know what, we'll do the last one will be in that same front loop. Like that. Yeah, just kind of make this little tube. Cut the yarn. Pull that through. I'm going to hide this end. And then I'm going to sew it closed with our other red tail. And just stuff all these bits in there. And then we'll make a little tiny apparatus that we probably... We're barely going to use it, though. I kind of feel like it doesn't need this, personally. But I don't know. What do you guys think? When does the Hermit Crab pattern come out? Yeah, hopefully early August. As soon as I can, honestly. I'm working on it. It's just, you know, between moving and all the other patterns that I need to do, and going on these vacations, it is gonna be one heck of a summer for me. So please be patient with me. I promise I will get it as soon as I possibly can, because I'm also really excited about it, and I want the pattern too. I know it from the top of my head, but it's not written down and stuff, so I still got work to do with it. And as you probably know, I usually like to kind of let a pattern simmer a little bit in my brain, because sometimes I can like really optimize it and make it really perfect before it comes out, and that's always preferable, you know. Okay, so there's our little oxygen tank, our little soda tank. We put it on the back like that, and then I'll do a little stitch out of it like this, and I'm just gonna have it like hanging, I think. I don't know. Let's sew this closed though first. So into the backs here, I'm just gonna go like one, I don't know, like 1, 2, like that maybe. It's kind of hard to sew this closed at this point. I probably should have done this earlier, but something like this. We don't need to get too, it's going to be on the bottom, so I don't really care if it's that messy. Wait, where did that come out of? Yeah, we'll just go like that. Again, I want to make sure that's hidden in there. Maybe like this. Nice. Pull that nice and tight. And then go straight into the center. And then I'm just going to come out through the back right here. That's pretty good. And yeah, that should honestly, that should hold us closed enough. It's not the best oxygen tank, but it gets the job done. It definitely gets the job done. Okay. And that'll be like right on the back like this. I might actually just pin it to the back, because I don't know if I like it or not. So I'm going to cut this here. And then we're going to go ahead and use some gray yarn to create an apparatus. And for the apparatus, I think what I'm going to do for that part is we're going to do, I'll leave a long tail end there, and we're going to do a magic loop. And then in the magic loop, I'm just going to single crochet 3, you know, just enough so it looks like a little tiny oxygen part. 1, 2, and 3 maybe, like that. Is that gonna be too small? That'll probably be fine, right? Let's see. Yeah, that's probably good. You know, we'll do 4. We're gonna single crochet 4 into a magic loop. Just that way it's easier to get to the first one there. And then I'll slip stitch to that other first one, like this. And then I'm gonna just, I think I'm just gonna cut the yarn. Long end. Right? Yeah. Long tail end. And, you know, we'll just have this go on the front, like, or off the side, maybe even like that. And we'll just pull this all the way through. And then, you know, maybe I can make these 2 tail ends like this kind of go across. Or maybe I just leave it like this one. No, it'd be nice if it was thicker. You know, maybe I can just go like... Let's see. If I make a slip knot with those 2 tail ends like this, maybe? We'll keep them together more. And then maybe I can do like just chains with both of them at the same time. This is very extra. Let's see what happened. 11. Really thick chain. That's kind of not going to work, I don't think. Yeah, I don't like that at all. We're going to do that again. Woo! Almost done. He lost all his little bits and bops. See you later, Ocean. Thanks for joining. That's actually, you know what? Nancy says, can't wait to see the sea lion pattern. Or can't wait for the sea lion pattern. It's actually a seal. And there's a reason I say that. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 4 again into the magic loop, pull tight. I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made like this. Sorry, let's do that again. First one we made like this. Why do you fight me so, Mr. Stitches? Because you crocheted too tight, Louie? Maybe. Like that. That's fine. And then we'll just chain this up. 1, 2, 3. We'll just do a little chain. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and a 14. Is that long enough? So this goes on the back. Which, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's pin this to the back too. I think that's just a good idea. It'll also make it look like it has a little button. So we're gonna pin this 2 ways. So we're gonna pin this part like this to the back. You know, so that way it looks like it's kind of like a, like that. And then we're gonna have this one. Like the main reason I wanted to do this is so I can see how long we want this to be. It's probably good that long. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna do that pin now. And I'm just gonna cut here and pull it through. I think I chained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 chains. Cut, pull through. We're gonna sew this end onto the top of our scuba gear here by just going around 1 stitch like this and then back into that chain and then into the base here, and I'm just going to kind of let it go pretty low in there all the way to the bottom. I'll pull it tight, but we don't need it to be like really attached, so I think that's probably fine. And then we'll cut that, and I'll hide this end into the back of a few of our starting stitches like this, just so this end doesn't come apart too. Yeah, like that. That's probably good. I think our music just ended. Good timing, because we're just about done. We'll pull this up like that, and we'll cut it close. And I'm definitely going to pin this side onto the face, onto the body, and I think I'm going to pin both sides though. Let's go with, so this will go back here. We're going to go pin this onto the back like this, just to make it easier for us. We're going to go right out the top, so it looks like there's a button on the top of it too, straight into the back. Great. And then we're going to pin this part. I'm just going to pin it off to the side a little bit like that. And we'll just use our blue pin here for that. Like right into the side of it like this. That way it kind of looks like it's a button, like it's been like attached there or something. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. All right, and then we'll give them, let's get our final looks at our character here, which name is pretty undeniably Jacques Cousteau. Great name choices all around. And let's give a solid look at our little character here. Let's move Ripple out of here a little bit. We got our scuba gear on there. He's got his little breathing apparatus. And then just for fun, we've also got a snorkel made out of a, come on, Louie. Straw. Oh my gosh. My brain hurts. All right. There is Jacques Cousteau, the start of our new season's live streams. What a beautiful, beautiful piece of work. Here, let's make this go under like that instead. Yeah, that's better. It looks more natural. He's ready to go dumpster diving. Our dumpster diving Seagull Jacques is c'est fini. Get it? Fini? Haha. C'est finished. Oh, what a beautiful boy. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. I love it. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, the head comes off to reveal that they are actually a burb. Of course they're actually a bird. Why would they be anything else? What a beautiful piece of art. I love him. Wow. Top tier. Top tier start to our season. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Again, if you can, please consider getting our new seasonal kit, Sandigurumi. It's available until the end of... it's available for discount until Sunday. It'll be available for discount all season, but the biggest discount is going to be till Sunday. And you get that bonus pin too. So if you pre-order now, you're also going to get this. If you have already purchased the kit by being an annual member, your kit should be there by Wednesday, I think. But I will keep you updated if it's going to be a little later. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate it. What a fun live stream. Like, great. What a solid start. I love it. I love it. I was so not expecting to make a dumpster diving seagull today, but I mean, it feels like duh, right? It feels like, of course we made a dumpster diving seagull. Hold on. I actually think we also want to pin down the hat. Let's go ahead. I'm going to use this weird purple pin here just to pin this down into the back so it doesn't go anywhere because it keeps falling off the head. We want to keep this on. There we go. Very pinned together, but that's okay. I like it. Oh, they're so cute. That's so fun. Love the flippers. Very cool. Weirdly complex design too. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Super appreciate it. I will see you guys not next week, but the week after. We're going to do a giveaway as well. But next week will be our new free pattern for our seal. So keep a lookout for this pattern coming out next week. If you haven't yet, please like this video down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell icon so you don't miss when we come out with new videos. Thank you again to everybody who has supported, and special thanks to our moderators, Zoe and Coop. You guys make this happen. Thank you so much. Pasta la pizza, everybody. Happy hooking, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Goodbye. Oh my gosh, stop. You hang up first. Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me blush. I'm blushing. What a weirdo. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.